Section 1-1. Instruments and controls. Keys and doors. Keys, engine immobilizer system, wireless remote control, side doors, back door, and theft deterrent system. Keys. 1. Master keys, black. These keys work in every lock. For your Lexus dealer to make a new key with a built-in transponder chip, your dealer will need one of them. 2. Valid key, gray. This key will not open the glove box. And 3. Key number plate. Keep the plate in a safe place such as your wallet, not in the vehicle. A transponder chip for the engine immobilizer system has been placed in the head of the master and valid keys. These chips are required for the system to function correctly, so be careful not to lose these keys. If you make your own duplicate key, you will not be able to cancel the system or start the engine. To protect items locked in the glove box, when using valet parking, leave the valid key with the attendant. Since the side doors and back door can be locked without a key, you should always carry a spare master key in case you accidentally lock your keys inside the vehicle. If you should lose your keys, or if you need additional keys, duplicates can be made by a Lexus dealer using the key number. We recommend writing down the key number and storing it in a safe place. Flat key. As a transponder chip is built in its key case, you can start the engine with this key. The flat key works in every lock. A transponder chip for the engine immobilizer system has been placed in the key case of the flat key. This chip is required for the system to function correctly, so be careful not to lose this key. If you make your own duplicate key, you will not be able to cancel the system or start the engine. Insert your key plate in its key case as shown. We recommend that you always carry this with you for emergency use. Do not leave it in your vehicle. Starting the engine using a flat key. Step 1. Remove the key plate from the key case. Step 2. Insert the key plate into the ignition switch. The indicator light keeps flashing. Step 3. Bring the key case closer to the ignition switch within 10 seconds as indicated by the arrowhead. The indicator light goes out. This means the engine immobilizer system is automatically cancelled. For details, see engine immobilizer system on page 12. You can put the key case away then. You cannot cancel the engine immobilizer system if 10 seconds have passed after you inserted the key plate. You need to remove the key plate from the ignition switch and try it again from the step 2. And step 4. Start the engine within 60 seconds after the security indicator light goes out. You cannot start the engine if 60 seconds have passed after the security indicator went off. You need to remove the key plate from the ignition switch and try it again from the step 2. Notice: do not let the key case become bent as the key plate may fall out or become bent also. The flat key is designed for emergency use only. When using a key containing a transponder chip, observe the following precautions. When starting the engine, do not use the key with the key ring resting on the key grip and do not press the key ring against the key grip. Doing so may prevent the engine from starting or may cause the engine to stop soon after it starts. When starting the engine, do not use the key in proximity with other transponder keys, including the flat key and keys of other vehicles, and do not press other key plates against the key grip. Doing so may prevent the engine from starting or may cause the engine to stop soon after it starts. If this happens, remove the key once and then insert it again after removing other transponder keys, including the flat key and keys of other vehicles, from the ring or while gripping or covering them with your hand to start the engine. Do not bend the key grip or flat key. Do not cover the key grip or flat key with any material that cuts off electromagnetic waves. Do not knock the key or flat key hard against other objects. Do not leave the key or flat key exposed to high temperatures for a long period, such as on the dashboard or hood under direct sunlight. Do not put the key or flat key in water or wash it in an ultrasonic washer. Do not use the key or flat key with electromagnetic materials. Engine immobilizer system. The engine immobilizer system is a theft prevention system. When you insert the key in the ignition switch, the transponder chip in the key's head transmits an electronic code to the vehicle. The engine will start only when the electronic code in the chip corresponds to the registered ID code for the vehicle. The system is automatically set when the key is removed from the ignition switch. At this time, the security indicator light flashes. When you insert the key in the ignition switch, the security indicator light goes out and the system is cancelled automatically, which enables the engine to start. The transponder chip of the flat key is in its key case. You can cancel the engine immobilizer system using the flat key. For details, see flat key on page 9. For your Lexus dealer to make you a new key with built-in transponder chip, your dealer will need your key number and master key. However, there is a limit to the number of additional keys your Lexus dealer can make for you. If you make your own duplicate key, you will not be able to cancel the system or start the engine. For vehicles sold in USA, FCC ID MOZRI-20 VTY. Made in Japan. This device complies with Part 15 of the FCC rules. Operation is subject to the following two conditions. 1. This device may not cause harmful interference, and 2. This device must accept any interference received, including interference that may cause undesired operation. Caution. Changes or modifications not expressly approved by the party responsible for compliance could void the user's authority to operate the equipment. For vehicles sold in Canada, this device complies with RSS-210 of Industry Canada. Operation is subject to the following two conditions. 1. This device may not cause interference, and 2. This device must accept any interference, including interference that may cause undesired operation of the device. Wireless remote control. 1. Locking the doors. 2. Unlocking the doors. 3. Indicator light. And 4. Sounding an alarm. Note, this feature can be set inoperative as vehicle theft deterrent measure in case of the loss of the wireless remote control key. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. When you operate any button on the key, push it slowly and surely. At this time, the indicator light on the key grip flashes once. The operational range of the wireless remote control is approximately 1 meter, 3 feet. The effective range may vary with different conditions. To activate the wireless remote control without fail, do it approximately 1 meter, 3 feet, from your Lexus. In the following cases, the battery in the key may be discharged. If this is the case, replace it using a special screwdriver. The remote control does not work. The operational range of wireless remote control becomes extremely short. The indicator light on the key is dimmed or does not come on. For the replacement of the battery, see Replacing the Battery on page 18. You can also have the battery of the key replaced by your Lexus dealer. If you lose the wireless key, contact your Lexus dealer as soon as possible to avoid the possibility of theft or an accident. You can use up to 4 wireless remote control keys for the same vehicle. Contact your Lexus dealer for detailed information. The wireless remote control key is an electronic component. Observe the following instructions in order not to cause damage to the key. Do not leave the wireless remote control key in places where the temperature becomes high, such as on the dashboard. Do not disassemble it. Avoid knocking it hard against other objects or dropping it. Avoid putting it in water. Locking/unlocking the doors. When you push the LOCK button on the key briefly, all the side doors and back door can be locked from outside the vehicle. At this time, you can hear one beep and the turn signal lights flash. However, when you push the lock button with any door not closed securely, the buzzer sounds for 10 seconds. To stop the buzzer, close all the side doors and back door securely or push the unlock button. If the key is in the ignition switch, locking cannot be done. Make sure all the doors are locked when you leave the vehicle. Push the lock button once again. If they were already locked, the turn signal lights will flash. Note, the beep volume can be changed. The turn signal lights can be set not to flash. The buzzer can be set not to sound if a door is not closed securely. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. When you push the unlock button, the driver's door is unlocked. Pushing that button once again within 3 seconds from the first push, all other side doors and back door are also unlocked. Note, the 2-step unlocking function can be changed. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. At this time, you can hear two beeps and the turn signal lights flash twice. Together with the activation of unlocking, the personal lights and center interior light come on for 15 seconds if the personal light switch and center interior light switch is in the door position, and the running board lights come on for 15 seconds. However, this function does not work when the ignition key is in the on position. For further information, see Illuminated Entry System on page 78. You have 30 seconds to open a door after using the wireless remote unlock feature. If a door is not opened by then, all the doors will be automatically locked again. Even if the lock or unlock button is kept pressed in, the locking or unlocking operation is not repeated. Release the button and then push again. Note, the beep volume can be changed. The turn signal lights can be set not to flash. The personal lights, center interior light and running board lights can be set not to come on, or the duration of lighting can be changed. The time before automatic relocking can be changed. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. Sounding an alarm. When you push the panic button for about 1 second, an alarm sounds to deter any person trying to break into or damage your vehicle. If you want to stop the alarm, push any button. This function does not work when the ignition key is in the on position. Note, the alarm can be set not to sound. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. Operating the windows and moonroof. The windows and moonroof can be opened using a wireless key from outside the vehicle. Note, the windows and moonroof can be set inoperative. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. Push the unlock button until the windows and moonroof start to move. A beep sounds just before opening. When you release the button, the windows and moonroof stop opening. For vehicles sold in USA, this device complies with Part 15 of the FCC rules. Operation is subject to the following two conditions. 1. This device may not cause harmful interference, and 2. This device must accept any interference received, including interference that may cause undesired operation. Notice, this equipment has been tested and found to comply with the limits for a Class B digital device, pursuant to Part 15 of the FCC rules. These limits are designed to provide reasonable protection against harmful interference in a residential installation. This equipment generates, uses and can radiate radio frequency energy and, if not installed and used in accordance with the instructions, may cause harmful interference to radio communications. However, there is no guarantee that interference will not occur in a particular installation. If this equipment does cause harmful interference to radio or television reception, which can be determined by turning the equipment off and on, the user is encouraged to try to correct the interference by one or more of the following measures. Reorient or relocate the receiving antenna. Increase the separation between the equipment and receiver. Connect the equipment into an outlet on a circuit different from that to which the receiver is connected. Consult the dealer or an experienced radio/TV technician for help. FCC warning, changes or modifications not expressly approved by the party responsible for compliance could void the user's authority to operate the equipment. For vehicles sold in Canada, operation is subject to the following two conditions. 1. This device may not cause interference, and 2. This device must accept any interference, including interference that may cause undesired operation of the device. Replacing the battery. When you replace the battery, prepare a lithium battery CR1616 or equivalent and a special screwdriver. Caution. Special care should be taken to prevent small children from swallowing the removed battery or components. Notice, when replacing the battery, be careful not to lose the components, screws and O-ring. Replace only with the same or equivalent type recommended by a Lexus dealer. Dispose of used batteries according to the local laws. Step 1. Remove the screw and then the cover while pushing it in the arrow direction. Step 2. Remove the module from the key frame. Step 3. Remove the two screws to take out the lid of the module. Step 4. Take out the discharged battery and put in a new battery with a positive side up. Notice. Make sure the positive side and negative side of the battery are faced correctly. Do not replace the battery with wet hands. Water may cause unexpected rust. Do not touch or move any components inside the transmitter or it may interfere with proper operation. Be careful not to bend the electrode when inserting the battery and that dust or oils do not adhere to the inside the module. Take care not to lose the screws and O-ring. Step 5. Install the lid with the 2 screws. Notice. Take care not to damage or bend the O-ring when installing. Step 6. Install the module into the key frame and secure the cover with a screw. And step 7. When pushing any switch on the wireless key, make sure the indicator light comes on. Side doors. Locking with key. 1. Lock and 2. Unlock. Turn the key towards the front of the vehicle to lock and towards the back to unlock. All the side doors and back door lock and unlock simultaneously with the driver's door. In the driver's door lock, turning the key once will unlock the driver's door and twice in succession will unlock all the side doors and back door simultaneously. Note, the 2-step unlocking function can be changed. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. Together with the activation of unlocking, the personal lights and center interior light come on for 15 seconds if the personal light and center interior light switches are in the door positions, and the running board lights come on for about 15 seconds. However, this function does not work when the ignition key is in the on position. For further information, see illuminated entry system on page 78. Locking with inside lock button. 1. Lock and 2. Unlock. Push in the lock button to lock and unlock the door. The front doors can be opened by pulling the inside handles even if the lock buttons are in the locked position. Caution. Do not pull the inside handle of the front doors while driving. The doors will open and an accident may occur. Lexus strongly recommends that all children be placed in the rear seat of the vehicle. Closing the door with a lock button pushed in will also lock the door. Be careful not to lock your keys in the vehicle. Doors cannot be locked when either front door is open and the key is in the ignition. Caution. Before driving, make sure the doors are closed and locked, especially when small children are in the vehicle. Along with the proper use of seat belts, locking the doors helps prevent the driver and passengers from being thrown out from the vehicle in an accident. It also helps prevent the doors from being opened unintentionally. Locking with power door lock switch. 1. Lock and 2. Unlock. To lock all the side doors and back door simultaneously, push the power door lock switch down on the front side. Pushing down on the rear side will unlock them. The same switch is also located on the front passenger side. If you do any of the following, no door can be unlocked with a power door lock switch. Lock all the doors with a key or wireless remote control when all the doors are closed. Open the driver's door or front passenger's door and move the inside lock buttons of both front doors to the locked position, then close the front doors. The power door lock switch can be reset in the following ways. Turn the ignition key to the on position. Unlock all the side doors and back door with a key or wireless remote control. Unlock the driver's door or front passenger's door with the inside lock button and then unlock all the doors with the power door lock switch. Automatic door locking and unlocking functions. Automatic door locking. You can select the following functions. Locking linked with a shift position. All doors are automatically locked when the selector lever is moved out of P position. Locking linked with vehicle speed. All doors are automatically locked when the vehicle speed goes above about 20 km per hour, 12 miles per hour. You can set or cancel the automatic door locking functions. Be sure to apply the parking brake when performing the following operations. To select the locking linked with a shift position, step 1. Close all doors and turn the ignition switch to the on position. Step 2. Shift the selector lever to the P position. And step 3. Within 10 seconds of turning the ignition switch to the on position, press and hold the driver's side power door lock switch in the locked position for 5 seconds and then release. The doors will be locked and unlocked to indicate that the function is set. To cancel the function, do the above operation again. To select the locking linked with a vehicle speed, step 1. Close all doors and turn the ignition switch to the on position. Step 2. Shift the selector lever to the P to the N position. And step 3. Within 10 seconds of turning the ignition switch to the on position, press and hold the driver's side power door lock switch in the lock position for 5 seconds and then release. The doors will be locked and unlocked to indicate that the function is set. To cancel the function, do the above operation again. Automatic door unlocking. You can select the following functions. Unlocking linked with a shift position. All doors are automatically unlocked when the selector lever is moved to P position. Unlocking linked with the ignition switch. All doors are automatically unlocked when the driver's door is opened within 10 seconds after the ignition switch is turned to the ACC or lock position or the key is removed. You can set or cancel the automatic door unlocking functions. Be sure to apply the parking brake when performing the following operations. To select the unlocking linked with a shift position, Step 1. Close all doors and turn the ignition switch to the on position. Step 2. Shift the selector lever to the P position. And Step 3. Within 10 seconds of turning the ignition switch to the on position, press and hold the driver's side power door lock switch in the unlock position for 5 seconds and then release. The doors will be locked and unlocked to indicate that the function is set. To cancel the function, do the above operation again. To select the unlocking linked with the ignition switch, Step 1. Close all doors and turn the ignition switch to the on position. Step 2. Shift the selector lever to the P to the N position. And Step 3. Within 10 seconds of turning the ignition switch to the on position, press and hold the driver's side power door lock switch in the unlock position for 5 seconds and then release. The doors will be locked and unlocked to indicate that the function is set. To cancel the function, do the above operation again. Locking with rear door child protector. 1. Unlock, and 2. Lock. Whenever small children are in the vehicle, lock the rear door so that it does not open by the inside door handle. To do this, move the lever to the lock position as shown and then close the door. Back door. 1. Half open position and 2. Full open position. To open the back door, pull the handle. The back door can be opened at the above mentioned positions. The back door can be locked and unlocked together with the side doors by means of the power door lock system. For instructions, see locking with power door lock switch on page 22. See stowage precautions on page 419 for precautions when loading luggage. Caution. Keep the back door closed while driving. This not only keeps the luggage from being thrown out, but also prevents exhaust gases from entering the vehicle. If the open back door hides the rear stop and tail lights or rear turn signal lights while you are parked, other road users must be warned of the presence of your vehicle by a warning triangle or other device. Back door stopper. 1. Lock, and 2. Unlock. For your safety, lock the back door with a door stopper when you fully open the back door. When closing the back door, check that the back door stopper is unlocked. Caution. When keeping the back door open, use only the lock lever of the back door stopper without touching the other parts. To avoid serious personal injury, make sure not to get your hands caught in the back door stay when closing the back door. Theft deterrent system. To deter theft of the vehicle, this system is designed to sound an alarm if any of the doors or hood is forcibly unlocked or the battery terminal is disconnected and then reconnected while the vehicle is locked. The alarm blows the horn intermittently and flashes the headlights, tail lights and turn signal lights. Furthermore, when the center interior light switch and personal light switch are in the door position, the center interior light and personal lights turn on. Security indicator light. Setting the system. Step 1. Turn the ignition key to the lock position and remove it. The engine immobilizer system causes the indicator light to flash. Step 2. Close and lock all the doors and hood using an ignition key or wireless remote control. If you lock them with wireless remote control, the turn signals flash once. The flashing indicator light will remain on when all the doors and hood are closed and locked. And Step 3. After 30 seconds, the indicator starts flashing and the system is set. Canceling the system. When you unlock any door using an ignition key or wireless remote control, the system is cancelled. If you unlock any door with wireless remote control, the turn signals flash twice. Activating the system. The alarm sounds for 60 seconds if any of the following are operated. Unlocking any door without using an ignition key or wireless remote control. Opening the hood and any doors forcibly. Reconnecting the battery. If the battery becomes discharged due to the vehicle being unused for a long time, etc., when the battery is recharged or replaced, the system will give the alarm. If this happens, immediately unlock any of the doors with a key or the wireless remote control and the alarm will stop. If any door is unlocked and the ignition key is not in the ignition switch during the alarm sounding, its door is automatically locked. To stop the alarm, use either of the following methods. Unlock the door using an ignition key or wireless remote control. Turn the ignition switch on. Testing the system. Step 1. Open all the windows. Step 2. Set the system as described above. The front doors should be locked with the ignition key or wireless remote control. Be sure to wait until the indicator light starts flashing. Step 3. Unlock one of the doors from the inside. The system should activate the alarm. Step 4. Unlock any of the doors with a key or the wireless remote control to cancel the system. And Step 5. Repeat this operation for the other doors and hood. When testing the hood, also check that the system is activated when the battery terminal is disconnected and then reconnected. If the system does not work properly, have it checked by your Lexus dealer. Notice: disconnecting the battery may result in the erasure of information you have set in the computer memory. After reconnecting the battery, check that the memorized data has been retained. If it has been erased, input it into the computer once more. Section 1-2. Instruments and controls. Switches. Headlight switch, headlight dimmer and turn signal switch, fog light switch, windshield wiper and washer switch, rear window wiper and washer switch, rear window defogger switch, outside rear view mirror defogger switch, power window switches, emergency flasher switch, and seat heater switches. Headlight switch. 1. USA and 2. Canada. To turn the lights on, twist the knob on the end of the lever. First click stop, only the parking, tail, license plate, side marker and instrument panel lights turn on. Second click stop, headlights also turn on. Third click stop, auto, the headlights and all other lights automatically turn on depending on the darkness of the surroundings. Note, the sensitivity of the automatic light control sensor can be changed. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. Vehicle sold in USA. When the headlights are on, the headlight indicator lights up in the instrument cluster. Vehicle sold in Canada. When the tail lights are on, the tail light indicator lights up in the instrument cluster. With a knob in the auto position, there may be a case that the headlights do not turn on immediately, even when the vehicle enters a dark place such as a tunnel or parking lot according to lighting conditions. In this case, we recommend you to twist the knob manually to the second click stop to turn on the headlights immediately. When the headlight switch is turned to the first or second click stop, the brightness of the instrument cluster will be reduced slightly unless the instrument panel light control dial is turned fully up. However, the brightness of the instrument cluster will not be reduced in daytime even when the headlight switch is turned to first or second click stop. The automatic light control sensor is on top of the driver's side instrument panel. Do not place anything on the instrument panel and or do not affix anything on the windshield to block this sensor. When the headlights are on, they automatically turn off about 30 seconds after any side door is opened and closed with the ignition key turned to the ACC or lock position. If you want to turn off the lights immediately, push the lock button on the wireless remote control key twice. The lights also can be turned off immediately by pushing the lock button on the wireless remote control key with all the doors locked. Note, the time before turning off the lights can be changed. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. If any of the side door is kept open, the lights automatically turn off after 30 minutes. When the headlight switch is on with all the doors locked, pushing the lock button on the wireless remote control key turns off the headlights. If you are going to park for over 1 week, make sure the headlight switch is off. Daytime running light system. The daytime running light system makes your front turn signal lights turn on when the parking brake is released with the engine started and the headlights are turned off. They will not go off until the ignition switch is turned off. Notice: to prevent the battery from being discharged, do not leave the lights on longer than necessary when the engine is not running. Headlight dimmer and turn signal switch. For high beam, push the lever forward. Pull it back for low beam. For the headlight flasher, pull it further back. A blue light in the instrument cluster indicates high beam or headlight flasher is on. The headlight flasher works even when the headlight switch is off. For signaling turns, move the lever up or down in the conventional manner. The ignition key must be in the on position. The turn signal is self-canceling after a turn, but after a lane change, you may have to cancel it by hand. You can also signal a lane change by moving the turn signal lever partway and holding it there. If the green light in the instrument cluster flashes faster than normal, it indicates that the front or rear turn signal bulb has burned out. If this indicator light does not come on, the fuse or the indicator light itself has probably failed. Fog light switch. To turn on the fog lights, turn the switch to the on position. The fog lights come on only when the headlights are on low beam. Windshield wiper and washer switch. Variable intermittent windshield wipers. 1. Interval adjuster and 2. Washer on. To turn the wipers on, move the lever down until you reach the desired speed setting. The ignition key must be in the on position. There are 3 settings. In position, variable intermittent operation. Low position, low speed operation. High position, high speed operation. Twist the interval adjuster upward to increase the wiping time interval between sweeps and downward to decrease it. The wiper lever must be in the in position. The time interval between sweeps is shortened when the vehicle speed increases. When the vehicle speed reaches more than about 20 km per hour, 12 miles per hour, with the interval adjuster in the full upward position, the time interval becomes the shortest 1.5 seconds. If you stop the vehicle with a wiper switch in the low position, the wiper speed automatically changes from low speed to variable intermittent operation speed. This function does not work when the interval adjuster is in the full upward position. Note, this feature can be deactivated. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. To make the washer squirt, pull the lever towards you and release it. If the wiper lever is in the off position, the wipers will automatically make 3 wipes and then a single wipe later to sweep the windshield completely. The interval between the 3 wipes and the last wipe will depend on the vehicle speed. The last sweep does not happen if the vehicle speed exceeds about 170 km an hour, 106 miles per hour. Note, the last single wipe can be deactivated. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. The low washer fluid warning light in the instrument cluster comes on when the fluid level in the tank becomes nearly empty. For information on adding washer fluid, see adding washer fluid on page 558. In cold weather, warm the windshield with a defroster before using the washer. This will help prevent icing, which could block your vision. Notice: do not operate the wipers if the windshield is dry. It may scratch the glass. Rain sensing windshield wipers. 1. Automatic control adjuster and 2. Washer on. To turn the wipers on, move the lever down until you reach the desired speed setting. The ignition key must be in the on position. There are 3 settings. Auto position, automatic operation. Low position, low speed operation. High position, high speed operation. Automatic operation. The wiper speed is determined by the amount of raindrops and sunlight detected by the automatic wiper control sensor. Twist the automatic control adjuster in the negative direction to lower the sensitivity and the positive direction to boost the sensitivity. The sensor is on the inside of the windshield as shown above. Even if the wiper lever is in the auto position, the system will switch to variable intermittent operations in the following conditions. When the windshield gets extremely cold at less than 10 degrees Celsius or 14 degrees Fahrenheit. When the system malfunctions. However, when the windshield gets extremely hot at more than 90 degrees Celsius or 194 degrees Fahrenheit, the wipers do not operate even if the wiper lever is in the auto position. When the ignition switch is turned off with a wiper lever in the auto position and then the ignition switch is turned on again, the automatic operation may not work even if raindrops are on the windshield. In this case, move the lever to another position and return it to the auto position again. If you stop the vehicle with a wiper switch in the low position, the wiper speed automatically changes from low speed to intermittent operation speed. This function does not work when the automatic control adjuster is in the positive position. Note, this feature can be deactivated. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. Caution. Be careful not to get your fingers caught between the wipers and windshield. When the wiper lever is in the auto position with the ignition switch on, the wipers could operate automatically in the following cases: if you touch the upper center of the windshield adjacent to the sensor. If you wipe the upper center of the windshield adjacent to which the sensor is located with a towel. If the windshield vibrates. If you touch the sensor. Notice. Do not apply detergent or wet the automatic wiper control sensor when cleaning the inside of the windshield. To make the washer squirt, pull the lever towards you and release it. If the wiper lever is in the off position, the wipers will automatically make 3 wipes and then a single wipe later to sweep the windshield completely. The interval between the 3 wipes and the last wipe will depend on the vehicle speed. The last sweep does not happen if the vehicle speed exceeds about 170 km per hour, 106 miles per hour. Note, the last single wipe can be deactivated. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. The low washer fluid warning light in the instrument cluster comes on when the fluid level in the tank becomes nearly empty. For information on adding washer fluid, see adding washer fluid on page 558. In cold weather, warm the windshield with a defroster before using the washer. This will help prevent icing, which could block your vision. Notice. Do not operate the wipers if the windshield is dry. It may scratch the glass. Rear window wiper and washer switch. 1. Washer on during wiping, and 2. Washer on. To turn the wipers on, twist the knob at the end of the lever. The ignition key must be in the on position. There are 2 settings. Low position, intermittent operation. High position, normal operation. If you stop the vehicle with a rear window wiper switch in the high position, the wiper speed automatically changes from normal to intermittent operation speed. To make the washer squirt, twist the knob downward to position 2. Also, the wipers will automatically operate a couple of times after the washer squirts, even with a lever in the off position. To make the washer squirt while operating in on position, twist the knob upward to position 1. The knob automatically returns from these positions after you release it. The low washer fluid warning light in the instrument cluster comes on when the fluid level in the tank becomes nearly empty. For information on adding washer fluid, see adding washer fluid on page 558. Notice. Do not operate the rear window wiper if the rear window is dry. It may scratch the glass. Rear window defogger switch. Vehicles without navigation system. Vehicles with navigation system. To turn the electric rear window defogger on, push the switch. The ignition key must be in the on position. The thin heater wires on the inside of the rear window will quickly clear the surface. An indicator light will illuminate to indicate the defogger is operating. The system will automatically shut off when the defogger has operated about 15 minutes. If further defrosting or defogging is desired, simply actuate the switch again. When the surface has cleared, push the switch once again to turn the defogger off. Continuous use may cause the battery to discharge, especially during stop-and-go driving. The defogger is not designed to dry rainwater or to melt snow. Notice. When cleaning the inside of the rear window, be careful not to scratch or damage the heater wires or connectors. To prevent the battery from being discharged, turn the switch off when the engine is not running. Outside rear view mirror defogger switch. To turn the electric outside rear view mirror defogger on, push the switch. The ignition key must be in the on position. The thin heater wires on the heater panels in the outside rear view mirrors will quickly clear the surface. Keep your hands off the mirror faces when the switch is on. An indicator light will illuminate to indicate the defogger is operating. The system will automatically shut off when the defogger has operated about 5 minutes. Caution. Since the mirror surfaces can get hot, do not touch them when the switch is on. If further defrosting or defogging is desired, simply actuate the switch again. When the surface has cleared, push the switch once again to turn the defogger off. Continuous use may cause the battery to discharge, especially during stop-and-go driving. The defogger is not designed to dry rainwater or to melt snow. If the outside rear view mirrors are heavily coated with ice, use a spray to icer before operating the switch. Notice: to prevent the battery from being discharged, turn the switch off when the engine is not running. Power window switches. 1 for driver's window, 2 for front passenger's window, 3 for left rear window, and 4 for right rear window. To raise or lower the windows, use the switch on each door. The passenger's windows can also be controlled by the switches on the driver's door. The power windows work when the ignition key is in the on position. Key off operation, even if the ignition key is turned to the ACC or locked position with all the doors closed, the window can be operated until a front door is opened or for 43 seconds. Operating the switches. To raise or lower the window, pull the switch halfway up or push it halfway down. Automatic operation. To fully raise or lower the window automatically, pull the switch fully up or push it fully down. To stop the window partway, lightly push or pull the switch in the opposite direction and then release it. Operating the window lock switch. Indicator lights. With a window lock switch pressed in, only the driver's window can be raised or lowered. The indicator lights on the switch tell you which of the switches can be operated. Operating the windows from outside the vehicle. The windows can be operated using an ignition key. Note: this feature can be deactivated. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. Close and open. Insert the ignition key into the keyhole on the driver's door. To close the windows, turn the key in the locking direction and hold it. After the doors are locked, the windows begin to close. To stop in the middle, return the key. To open the windows, turn the key in the unlocking direction and hold it. After the door is unlocked, the windows begin to open. To stop in the middle, return the key. The windows also can be opened using the wireless remote control. For details, see page 17. Jam protection function. During automatic raising operation or key off raising operation, the window stops and is lowered if something gets caught between the window and window frame. If the window receives a strong impact, this function may work even if nothing is caught. If the power windows do not operate automatically. If the power windows do not operate automatically or the jam protection function does not operate correctly, you should normalize the power windows. To normalize the power windows. Step 1. Push down the power window switches of each door and lower the windows halfway. And step 2. Pull up the switches until the windows close and hold the switches for a second. Make sure that the windows open and close automatically. If the power windows cannot be operated properly, have it checked by your Lexus dealer. Caution. To avoid serious personal injury, you must do the following. Before you close the power windows, always make sure there is no body around the power windows. You must also make sure the heads, hands and other parts of the bodies of all occupants are kept completely inside the vehicle. If someone's neck, head or hands get caught in a closing window, it could result in death or serious injury. When anyone closes the power windows, make sure he or she operates the windows safely. When small children are in the vehicle, never let them use the power window switches without supervision. Use the window lock switch to prevent them from making unexpected use of the switches. Be sure to remove the ignition key when you leave your vehicle. Never leave anyone, particularly a small child, alone in your vehicle, especially with the ignition key still inserted. Otherwise, he/she could use the power window switches and get trapped in a window. Unattended person, particularly a small child, can be involved in a serious accident. Never try jamming any part of your body to activate the jam protection function intentionally, as it could result in a serious injury. The jam protection function may not work if something gets caught just before the window fully closed. Emergency flasher switch. To turn on the emergency flashers, push the switch. To turn them off, push the switch again. All the turn signal lights will flash. The emergency flashers will work with the engine running or often with or without the ignition key. Turn on the emergency flashers to warn other drivers if you must stop your vehicle where it might be a traffic hazard. Always pull your vehicle as far off the road as possible. The turn signal light switch will not work when the emergency flashers are in operation. Notice: to prevent the battery from being discharged, do not leave the switch on longer than necessary when the engine is not running. Seat heater switches. The seat heater has two dials, one marked L for the driver's seat and the other marked R for the front passenger's seat. To turn the seat heaters on, turn the dials forward. The indicator lights come on. To turn them off, turn the dials backward until they stop. The indicator lights go off. You can adjust the heating temperature to 5 stages. To increase the temperature, turn them forward. To decrease the temperature, turn them backward. The ignition key must be in the on position to operate seat heaters. Caution: occupants must use caution when operating the seat heater because they may experience minor burns even at low temperatures. Use extra caution for babies, small children, elderly persons, sick persons or persons with physical disabilities, persons who have sensitive skin, persons who are exhausted, persons who have taken alcohol or drugs which induce sleep, sleeping drug, cold remedy, etc. To prevent the seat from overheating, do not use the seat heater with a blanket, cushion, or other insulating objects which cover the seat. Notice: do not put unevenly weighted objects on the seat and do not stick sharp objects, needles, nails, etc. into the seat. When cleaning the seats, do not use organic substances, paint thinner, benzene, alcohol, gasoline, etc. They may damage the heater and seat surface. To prevent the battery from being discharged, turn the switches off when the engine is not running. Section 1-3. Instruments and controls. Gauges, meters and service reminder indicators. Fuel gauge, engine coolant temperature gauge, tachometer, odometer and trip meter, service reminder indicators and warning buzzers, multi-information display, an instrument panel light control. Fuel gauge. Low fuel level warning light. The gauge indicates the approximate quantity of fuel remaining in the tank when the ignition switch is on. It is a good idea to keep the tank over 1/4 full. If the fuel level approaches E or the low fuel level warning light comes on, fill the fuel tank as soon as possible. On inclines or curves, due to the movement of fuel in the tank, the fuel gauge needle may fluctuate or the low fuel level warning light may come on earlier than usual. If the fuel tank is completely empty, the malfunction indicator lamp comes on. Fill the fuel tank immediately. The indicator lamp goes off after driving several times. If the indicator lamp does not go off, contact your Lexus dealer as soon as possible. See the inner back cover for fuel capacity and recommended fuel selection. Engine coolant temperature gauge. Normal range. The gauge indicates the engine coolant temperature when the ignition switch is on. The engine operating temperature will vary with changes in weather and engine load. If the needle points to the red zone or higher, stop your vehicle and allow the engine to cool. Your vehicle may overheat during severe operating conditions, such as driving up a long hill on a hot day, reducing speed or stopping after high-speed driving, idling for a long period with the air conditioning on in stop-and-go traffic, towing a trailer. Notice: do not remove the thermostat in the engine cooling system as this may cause the engine to overheat. The thermostat is designed to control the flow of coolant to keep the temperature of the engine within the specified operating range. Do not continue driving with an overheated engine. See if your vehicle overheats on page 431. Tachometer. The tachometer indicates engine speed in thousands of RPM, revolutions per minute. Use it while driving to prevent engine over-revving. Driving with the engine running too fast causes excessive engine wear and poor fuel economy. Remember, in most cases the slower the engine speed, the greater the fuel economy. Notice: do not let the indicator needle get into the red zone. This may cause severe engine damage. Odometer and trip meter. Trip meter reset knob. This meter displays the odometer on 2 trip meters. To change the mode indication, push the trip meter reset knob briefly. Each time you push the knob, the mode changes in order from the odometer to trip meter A, to trip meter B, then back to the odometer, etc. The odometer records the total distance the vehicle has been driven. The twin trip meter records 2 different distances independently. For example, you can use one meter to calculate the fuel economy and the other to measure the distance on each trip. To set the A trip meter to 0, display the A meter reading, push the knob and hold it. The same applies for the B trip meter. The data of trip meters will be cancelled if the electrical power source is disconnected. Service reminder indicators and warning buzzers. If this indicator or buzzer comes on, do this. Brake system warning light and buzzer, indicator and buzzer, both USA and Canadian models. If parking brake is off, stop immediately and contact Lexus dealer. Driver's seatbelt reminder light and buzzer, indicator and buzzer. Fasten driver's seatbelt. Front passenger seatbelt reminder light. Fasten front passenger seatbelt. SRS warning light. Take vehicle to Lexus dealer immediately. Malfunction indicator lamp, both USA and Canadian models. Take vehicle to Lexus dealer. ABS warning light, both USA and Canadian models. Take vehicle to Lexus dealer. If brake system warning light is also on, stop immediately and contact Lexus dealer. Open door warning light. Close all side doors and back door. Unengaged park warning light. Shift 4-wheel drive control out of N. Automatic transmission fluid temperature warning light. Stop and check. VSC track warning light. Take vehicle to Lexus dealer. KDSS warning light, vehicles with kinetic dynamic suspension system. Take vehicle to Lexus dealer. Charging system warning light. Stop immediately and contact Lexus dealer. Low engine oil pressure warning light. Stop and check. Engine oil replacement reminder light for vehicles sold in USA. Replace engine oil. Low tire pressure warning light. Adjust tire inflation pressure. If light remains, contact Lexus dealer. Low fuel level warning light. Fill up tank. Low washer fluid warning light. Add washer fluid. And key reminder buzzer. Remove key. Brake system warning light and buzzer. This light comes on in the following cases when the ignition key is in the on position. When the parking brake is applied, this light comes on for a few seconds when the ignition key is in the on position even after the parking brake is released. When the brake fluid level is low, caution. It is dangerous to continue driving normally when the brake fluid level is low. When the hydraulic brake booster fails, if the hydraulic booster causes a problem resulting in poor braking performance, the warning light comes on and buzzer sounds continuously. Have your vehicle checked at your Lexus dealer in the following cases. The light does not come on even if the parking brake is applied when the ignition key is in the on position. The light does not come on even if the ignition key is turned on with a parking brake released. A warning light turning on briefly during operation does not indicate a problem. Caution. If any of the following conditions occurs, immediately stop your vehicle at a safe place and contact your Lexus dealer. The light does not turn off even after the parking brake is released while the engine is running. The warning buzzer comes on together with a warning light. In either case, this can indicate that the brakes may not work properly and your stopping distance will become longer. To press the brake pedal firmly and bring the vehicle to an immediate stop. The brake system warning light remains on together with the ABS warning light. In this case, not only the anti-lock brake system will fail, but also the vehicle will become extremely unstable during braking. Any of the following conditions may occur, but do not indicate the malfunction. The light may stand for about 60 seconds after the ignition key is turned to the on position. It is normal if it turns off after a while. Depressing the brake pedal repeatedly may turn on the warning light and buzzer. It is normal if the light turns off and the buzzer stops sounding after a few seconds. You may hear a small sound in the engine compartment after the engine is started or the brake pedal is depressed repeatedly. This is a pump pulsating sound of the brake system and it is not a malfunction. driver's seatbelt reminder light and buzzer. The light and buzzer act as a reminder to buckle up the driver's seatbelt. Once the ignition key is turned to on or start, the reminder light flashes and buzzer sounds if the driver's seatbelt is not fastened. Unless the driver fastens the belt, the light continues flashing and the buzzer stops after about 4 to 8 seconds. Front passenger seatbelt reminder light. The light acts as a reminder to have the front passenger buckle up the seatbelt. Once the ignition key is turned to on or start, the reminder light flashes if a passenger sits in the front passenger seat and does not fasten the seatbelt. If luggage or other load is placed on the front passenger seat, depending on its weight, the reminder light may flash. SRS warning light. The indicator comes on when the ignition key is turned to the on position. It goes off after about 6 seconds. This means the SRS airbags and seatbelt retentioners are operating properly. This warning light system monitors the airbag sensor assembly, front airbag sensors, side and curtain shield airbag sensor assemblies, curtain shield airbag sensor assemblies, driver's seat position sensor, driver's seat belt buckle switch, front passenger occupant classification system, airbag on indicator light, airbag off indicator light, front passenger seat belt buckle switch, seat belt retentioner assemblies, inflators, warning light, RSCA, off indicator light, interconnecting wiring and power sources. If any of the following conditions occurs, this indicates a malfunction of the airbags or seatbelt retentioners. Contact your Lexus dealer as soon as possible. The light does not come on when the ignition key is turned to the on position or remains on for more than 6 seconds or flashes. The light comes on or starts flashing while driving. The SRS warning light and airbag off indicator light will be illuminated if there is a malfunction in the front passenger occupant classification system. Malfunction indicator lamp. This lamp comes on when the ignition key is turned to the on position and goes off after the engine starts. This means that the warning light system is operating properly. If the lamp remains on or the lamp comes on while driving, first check the followings. Empty fuel tank. If the fuel tank is empty, refuel immediately. Loose fuel tank cap. If the fuel tank cap is loose, securely tighten it. These cases are temporary malfunctions. The malfunction indicator lamp will go off after taking several driving trips. If the lamp does not go off even after several trips, contact your Lexus dealer as soon as possible. If the fuel tank is not empty or the fuel tank cap is not loose, there is a problem somewhere in the engine, emission control system, electronic throttle control system, automatic transmission electrical system or warning light system itself. Contact your Lexus dealer as soon as possible to service the vehicle. If engine speed does not increase when the accelerator pedal is depressed, there may be a problem somewhere in the electronic throttle control system. At this time, vibration may occur. However, if you depress the accelerator pedal more firmly and slowly, you can drive your vehicle at low speeds. Have your vehicle checked by your Lexus dealer as soon as possible. Even if the abnormality of the electronic throttle control system is correct during low-speed driving, the system may not be recovered until the engine is stopped and the ignition key is turned to ACC or lock position. Caution. Be especially careful to prevent erroneous pedal operation. Emissions inspection and maintenance I/M programs. Your vehicle may not pass a state emission inspection if the malfunction indicator lamp remains on. Contact your Lexus dealer to check your vehicle's emission control system and OBD onboard diagnostics system before taking your vehicle for the inspection. For details, see Emissions Inspection and Maintenance I/M programs on page 489. ABS warning light. The light comes on when the ignition key is turned to the on position. If the anti-lock brake system and the brake assist system work properly, the light turns off after a few seconds. Thereafter, if either of the systems malfunctions, the light comes on again. When the ABS warning light is on and the brake system warning light is off, the following systems do not operate, but the brake system still operates conventionally. Anti-lock brake system, brake assist system, active traction control system, vehicle stability control system, downhill assist control system, and hill start assist control. When the ABS warning light is on and the brake system warning light is off, the anti-lock brake system does not operate, so that the wheels will lock up during a sudden braking or braking on slippery road surfaces. If either of the following conditions occurs, this indicates a malfunction somewhere in the components monitored by the warning light system. Contact your Lexus dealer as soon as possible to service the vehicle. The light does not come on when the ignition key is turned to the on position or remains on. The light comes on while you are driving. A warning light turning on briefly during operation does not indicate a problem. Caution. If the ABS warning light remains on together with a brake system warning light, immediately stop your vehicle at a safe place and contact your Lexus dealer. In this case, not only the anti-lock brake system will fail but also the vehicle will become extremely unstable during braking. Either of the following conditions may occur, but do not indicate a malfunction. The light may stand for about 60 seconds after the ignition key is turned to the on position. It is normal if it turns off after a while. Depressing the brake pedal repeatedly may turn on the light. It is normal if it turns off after a few seconds. Open door warning light. This light remains on until all the side doors and back door are completely closed. Unengaged park warning light. This light warns that the transmission park mechanism is not engaged. If the four-wheel drive control is in the N position while the selector lever is in the P position, the transmission will disengage and the wheels will not lock. Caution. To restore the park function, shift the four-wheel drive control lever out of N or the vehicle can move. Automatic transmission fluid temperature warning light. This light warns that the automatic transmission fluid temperature is too high. If this light comes on while you are driving, slow down and pull off the road. Stop the vehicle at a safe place and put the selector lever in P and leave the engine idling until the light goes off. If the light goes off, you can start the vehicle again. If the light does not go off, call a Lexus dealer or qualified repair shop for assistance. Notice. Continued driving with a warning light on may damage the automatic transmission. VSC track warning light. This light warns that there is a problem somewhere in the following. Vehicle stability control system, active traction control system, downhill assist control system, hill start assist control. The light will come on when the ignition key turns to on and will go off after a few seconds. It is not a malfunction that the warning light may stand for 60 seconds after the ignition key is turned to the on position. Depressing the brake pedal repeatedly may turn on the lights. It is normal if they go out after a few seconds. If the light comes on while driving, the above-mentioned systems do not work. However, as conventional braking operates when applied, there is no problem to continue your driving. In the following cases, contact your Lexus dealer. The warning light does not come on after the ignition key is turned to on. The warning light remains on after the ignition key is turned to on. The warning light comes on while driving. When the brake fluid level is too low, the above-mentioned systems will not operate and the warning light come on. KDSS warning light, vehicles with kinetic dynamic suspension system. This light warns that there is a problem somewhere in the kinetic dynamic suspension system. The light will come on when the ignition key is turned to the on position and will go off after a few seconds. If the light comes on while driving, bring your vehicle to your Lexus dealer as soon as possible and have it checked. Charging system warning light. This warning light comes on when the ignition switch is turned to the on position and goes off when the engine is started. When there are problems in the charging system while the engine is running, the warning light comes on. Notice. When the charging system warning light comes on while the engine is running, malfunctions such as the engine drive belt being broken may have occurred. If the warning light comes on, immediately stop the vehicle in a safe place and contact your Lexus dealer. Low engine oil pressure warning light. This light warns that the engine oil pressure is too low. If it flickers or stays on while you are driving, pull off the road to a safe place and stop the engine immediately. Call a Lexus dealer or qualified repair shop for assistance. The light may occasionally flicker when the engine is idling or it may come on briefly after a hard stop. There is no cause for concern if it then goes out when the engine is accelerated slightly. The light may come on when the oil level is extremely low. It is not designed to indicate low oil level, and the oil level must be checked using the oil level dipstick. Notice: do not drive the vehicle with a warning light on, even for 1 block. It may ruin the engine. Engine oil replacement reminder light for vehicles sold in USA. This light acts as a reminder to replace the engine oil. This light will come on when the ignition key is turned to on and will go off after about a few seconds. When you drive for about 7,200 kilometers, 4,500 miles after the engine oil replacement, this light illuminates for about 3 seconds and then flashes for about 12 seconds with the ignition key turned to on position. If you continue driving without the engine oil replacement, and if the driving range exceeds 8,000 kilometers, 5,000 miles, the light will come on after the ignition key is turned to on position. The light will remain on thereafter. If the light is flashing, we recommend that you replace the engine oil at an early opportunity depending on the driving and road condition. If the light comes on, replace it as soon as possible. You need to reset the light after the engine oil replacement. Reset the light by following the procedure below. Step 1. Turn the ignition key to the ACC or lock position with the odometer reading shown. For details, see odometer and trip meter on page 50. And step 2. Turn the ignition key to the on position while holding down the trip meter reset knob. Hold down the knob until the light goes off. Before the light goes off, it illuminates for 3 seconds, flashes for 2 seconds and illuminates for 1 second. If the system fails to reset, the light will remain flashing. In this case, return to step 1 and try again. Low tire pressure warning light. This light warns that the tire pressure of one or more of your tires, including the spare tire, is low. The light comes on when the ignition key is turned to the on position. It goes off after a few seconds. This indicates that the tire pressure warning system is functioning properly. If the warning light comes on, stop your vehicle in a safe place as soon as possible and check that the inflation pressure of all tires, including the spare tire, is as specified on the tire unloading information label. See checking tire inflation pressure on page 523. The light should go off a few minutes after the tire pressure is adjusted. If the warning light blinks, the tire pressure warning system may be malfunctioning. Contact your Lexus dealer. For details, see tire pressure warning system on page 387. Low fuel level warning light. This light comes on when the fuel level in the tank becomes very low. Fill the tank as soon as possible. On inclines or curves, due to the movement of fuel in the tank, the low fuel level warning light may come on earlier than usual. Low washer fluid warning light. This light comes on when the fluid level in the tank becomes very low. Fill the tank as soon as possible. Key reminder buzzer. This buzzer acts as a reminder to remove the key when you open the driver's door with the ignition key in the ACC or lock position. How to check all the service reminder indicators except the low fuel level warning light. Step 1. Apply the parking brake. Step 2. Open the door. The following service reminder indicator should come on. It goes off when you close the door completely. Step 3. Place the four-wheel drive control lever in N position and the selector lever in P position and turn the ignition key to ACC. The following service reminder indicator should come on. It goes off when you place the four-wheel drive control lever in H or L position. And step 4. Turn the ignition key to on. The following service reminder indicators should come on. The following service reminder indicator goes off after a few seconds. The anti-lock brake system warning light, vehicle stability control system, off indicator light and vehicle stability control system, slip indicator light and active traction control system warning light may stand for about 60 seconds after the ignition key is turned to the on position. It is normal if they go out after a while. The following service reminder indicator should come on. It goes off after about 6 seconds. If any service reminder indicator or warning buzzer does not function as described above, have it checked by your Lexus dealer as soon as possible. Multi-information display. 1. Mode button. 2. Down triangle button. 3. Up triangle button. And 4. Reset button. The multi-information display provides various information, including clock, outside temperature, and your vehicle's driving condition. When the ignition switch is on, the last previously used mode, displayed just before the ignition switch is off, will appear. If the electrical power source has been disconnected from the multi-information display, the display will automatically be set to the initial mode. When the instrument panel lights are turned on, the brightness of the display will be reduced. You can adjust the brightness of the display. To adjust the brightness, see adjusting the brightness of the display below. Adjusting the brightness of the display. The key must be in the ACC or on position. To adjust the brightness of the display, push and hold the mode button for more than 2 seconds. It will appear on the display. To increase the brightness, push the up triangle button. To decrease the brightness, push the down triangle button. You can adjust the brightness to 3 levels when the tail lights are off, or 6 levels when the tail lights are on. After adjusting, the display automatically returns to the previous display. Caution. Do not adjust the display while the vehicle is moving. Be sure to adjust the display only when the vehicle is stopped. Clock. USA, Canada. The digital clock indicates the time when the key is in the ACC or on position. To reset the time, push and hold the mode button for 2 seconds. It will appear on the display. Then push the mode button once. The time will blink. To reset the hour, push the down triangle button. To reset the minutes, push the up triangle button. To adjust the time to the nearest hour, push the reset button. For example, if the reset button is depressed when the time is between 1:01 o'clock and 1:29 o'clock, the time will change to 1 o'clock. If the time is between 1:30 o'clock and 1:59 o'clock, the time will change to 2 o'clock. If the electric power source has been disconnected, the time display will automatically be set to 1 o'clock. Outside temperature and cruise information. The following information is shown with the ignition switch turned on. Each time you push the mode button, the display toggles through this information. Outside temperature, average fuel consumption, instantaneous fuel consumption, driving range, average vehicle speed, barometer, altimeter, elapsed time. The displayed values indicate general driving conditions. Accuracy varies with driving habits and road conditions. Outside temperature. USA, Canada. In outside temperature mode, outside air temperatures are displayed. The displayed value is updated every 1 second. The displayed temperature ranges from -22 degrees Fahrenheit, -30 degrees Celsius, up to 122 degrees Fahrenheit, 50 degrees Celsius. If there is some abnormality in the connection of the outside air temperature sensor, 2 minuses will appear on the display. If 2 minuses appears on the display, contact your Lexus dealer. In some cases, 2 minuses may appear momentarily when the ignition is quickly turned to on. It is normal if it goes out soon. Average fuel consumption. USA, Canada. Average fuel consumption is calculated and displayed based on total driving distance and total fuel consumption with the engine running. The displayed value is updated every 10 seconds. To reset the calculations, push and hold the reset button for more than 1 second. Instantaneous fuel consumption. USA, Canada. Instantaneous fuel consumption is calculated and displayed based on distance and fuel consumption for 2 seconds with the engine running. The displayed value is updated every 2 seconds. Note that an accurate figure may not be shown in the following cases. When the vehicle is stopped with the engine running, the display will indicate extremely high fuel consumption. When the vehicle is driving down a long slope with the engine brake applied, the display will indicate extremely low fuel consumption. The distance the vehicle can travel with the remaining fuel is calculated and displayed based on the quantity of remaining fuel and past fuel consumption. The driving range display indicates the approximate distance that you can drive until the fuel gauge reaches E. It is different from the actual distance traveled. The displayed value is updated every time the fuel required to travel 1 mile or 1 kilometer is consumed. Every time you refuel the vehicle, the calculation is reset. The actual driving range varies with driving habits and road conditions. If fuel consumption is good, the driving range will be longer. If fuel consumption is poor, the driving range will be shorter. If the low fuel level warning light comes on, refuel even if the display indicates that the vehicle can be driven further. Average vehicle speed. USA, Canada. Average vehicle speed is calculated and displayed based on total driving distance and total driving time with the engine running. The displayed value is updated every 10 seconds. To reset the calculations, push and hold the reset button for more than 1 second. Barometer. USA, Canada. In barometer mode, the atmospheric pressure in the vehicle is displayed. The displayed atmospheric pressure ranges from 17.8 inches of mercury, 600 hectopascals, up to 31.0 inches of mercury, 1050 hectopascals. The displayed value is updated every 2 seconds. The displayed value may deviate from the actual atmospheric pressure depending on opening or closing of the windows and doors and the driving conditions. Altimeter. USA, Canada. In altimeter mode, the approximate altitude is displayed. The displayed altitude ranges from negative 1,500 feet, negative 500 meters, up to 13,000 feet, 4,000 meters. As the altitude value is converted from the atmospheric pressure, it can be easily affected by air motion and temperature, so the indication may vary. The indicated altitude of a single position may deviate according to the atmospheric pressure and temperature. The displayed value is updated every 2 seconds. Rectification of the altitude. Rectification is valid only when the correct altitude is known. While the altitude mode is on the display, push the down triangle or up triangle button to increase or decrease the altitude by 50 feet, 10 meters. To reset the rectified altitude, push and hold the reset button for more than 1 second. Elapsed time. USA, Canada. The time that has elapsed since the engine started is displayed. When the engine is started, driving time is counted from 0 minutes, 0 seconds. Up to 19 hours, 59 minutes can be displayed. When the driving time exceeds 19 hours, 59 minutes, the counter returns to 0 minutes, 0 seconds. To reset the calculations, push and hold the reset button for more than 1 second. Instrument panel light control. To adjust the brightness of the instrument panel lights, turn the dial. With the dial turned fully up, the intensity of the instrument panel lights will not be reduced when the headlight switch is on. If the instrument panel light control dial is turned fully down, the footlights will turn off. Section 1-4. Instruments and controls. Interior equipment. Sun visors, interior lights, personal lights, illuminated entry system, cigarette lighter and ashtray, power outlets, glove box, rear console box, garage door opener, cup holders, overhead console box, auxiliary box, floor mat, warning reflector holder, coat hooks, luggage cover, and tie-down hooks. Sun visors. To block out glare, move the sun visor as shown. 1. To block out glare from the front, swing the sun visor down. 2. To block out glare from the side, remove the sun visor from the hook and swing it to the side. 3. To block out glare coming obliquely from behind you, slide the visor backwards. At this position, the vanity light does not come on. And 4. To block out glare from the front with a sun visor in the position 2 or 3, swing the other sun visor down. Interior lights. Center. Vehicles without rear seat audio system. Vehicles with rear seat audio system. To turn on the interior light, slide the switch. The interior light switch has the following positions. On, keeps the light on all the time. Off, turns the light off. Door, turns the light on when any side door is opened. The light goes off when all the doors are closed. For details, see illuminated entry system on page 78. Rear. To turn on the interior light, slide the switch. The interior light switch has the following positions. On, keeps the light on all the time. Off, turns the light off. Door, turn the light on when the back door is opened. The light goes out immediately when the back door is closed. Personal lights. 1. Door position and 2. Off position. To turn on the personal light, push the lens. To turn the light off, push the lens once again. The personal light switch has the following positions. Door, turn the lights on when any side door is opened without pushing the lens. The light goes off when all the doors are closed. For details, see illuminated entry system on page 78. Off, turn the lights on only when you push the lens. Illuminated entry system. 1. Footlights. 2. Ignition switch light. 3. Personal lights with a door position. 4. Center console spotlights. 5. Inside door handle lights. 6. Center interior light with a door position. And 7. Running board lights. All of the lights except the center console spotlights will come on when any of the side doors are opened. After all the doors are closed, the lights remain on for about 15 seconds before fading out. Note, the operating condition can be changed. The duration of lighting can be changed, and the footlights and inside door handle lights can be set not to come on. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. However, in the following cases, the lights go out immediately, all of the lights except the center console spotlights. All the side doors and back door are locked. Ignition switch light, personal lights and center interior light. All the side doors are closed and the ignition key is in the ACC or on position. Running board lights. The vehicle speed exceeds about 8 km per hour, 5 miles per hour. When any of the side doors is unlocked, all of the lights except the center console spotlights will come on and remain on for about 15 seconds before fading out. To prevent the battery being discharged, all of the lights will automatically turn off when the ignition key removed and the door is left open for about 30 minutes. Ignition switch light, personal lights and center interior light. The ignition switch light, personal lights and center interior light also come on and remain on for about 15 seconds before fading out when the ignition switch is turned to the lock position. Footlights and inside door handle lights. The footlights and inside door handle lights also come on when the ignition switch is in the on position with a selector lever in the P position. When the selector lever is moved out of the P position, the footlights and inside door handle lights will be dimmed. Note, the footlights and inside door handle lights can be set to turn off when the selector lever is moved out of the P position. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. When the instrument panel light control dial is turned fully down, the footlights will turn off. Center console spotlights. The center console spotlights come on when the ignition switch is in the ACC or on position. Cigarette lighter and ashtray. Front. To use the cigarette lighter and ashtray, first push against the cigarette lighter and ashtray covers. Then when the cigarette lighter cover opens, press in the cigarette lighter. After it finishes heating up, it automatically pops out ready for use. Do not hold the cigarette lighter pressed inches. If the engine is not running, the ignition key must be in the ACC position to use the lighter. When finished with your cigarette, thoroughly extinguish it in the ashtray to prevent other cigarette butts from catching fire. After using the ashtray, close the lid completely. To remove the ashtray, press down on the lock spring plate and pull out. Use a Lexus genuine cigarette lighter or equivalent for replacement. Caution. To reduce the chance of injury in case of an accident or sudden stop while driving, always completely close the ashtray after use. Rear. To use the ashtray, raise the lid. When finished with your cigarette, thoroughly extinguish it in the ashtray to prevent other cigarette butts from catching fire. After using the ashtray, close the lid completely. To remove the ashtray, raise the lid and pull it out. Caution. To reduce the chance of injury in case of an accident or sudden stop while driving, always completely close the ashtray after use. Power outlets. 12 volts DC. The power outlet is designed for power supply for car accessories. The ignition key must be in the ACC or on position for the power outlet to be used. Notice. To prevent the fuse from being blown, do not use the electricity over the total vehicle capacity of 12 volts DC/120 watts. To prevent the battery from being discharged, do not use the power outlet longer than necessary when the engine is not running. Close the power outlet lid when the power outlet is not in use. Inserting anything other than an appropriate plug that fits the outlet or allowing any liquid to get into the outlet may cause electrical failure or short circuits. 115 volts AC. This power outlet is designed for use as a power supply for electric appliances in the vehicle. The key must be in the on position for the power outlet to be used. The maximum capacity for this power outlet is 115 volts AC/100 watts. If you attempt to use an appliance that requires more than 115 volts AC or 100 watts, the protection circuit will activate and cut the power supply. The power supply will restart automatically when you use an appliance that operates within the 115 volts AC/100 watts limits. Main switch. To use the power outlet, push the main switch on the instrument panel. An indicator light will illuminate to indicate that the power outlet is ready for use. Push the main switch once again to turn the power outlet off. When the power outlet is not in use, make sure that the main switch is turned off. Notice: to prevent the battery from being discharged, do not use the power outlet longer than necessary when the engine is not running. Close the power outlet lid when the power outlet is not in use. Inserting anything other than an appropriate plug that fits the outlet or allowing any liquid to get into the outlet may cause electrical failure or short circuits. The power outlet is not designed for the following electric appliances, even though their power consumption is under 115 volts AC/100 watts. These appliances may not operate properly. Appliances with high initial peak wattage, cathode ray tube type televisions, compressor-driven refrigerators, electric pumps, electric tools, etc., measuring devices which process precise data, medical equipment, measuring instruments, etc., other appliances requiring an extremely stable power supply, microcomputer-controlled electric blankets, touch sensor lamps, etc., certain electrical appliances may cause radio noise. Glove box. 1. Unlock. 2. Open. And 3. Lock. To use the glove box. Open by pulling the lever. Lock by inserting the master key and turning it clockwise. Unlock by inserting the master key and turning it counterclockwise. With the tail lights on, the glove box light will come on when the glove box door is open. Caution. To reduce the chance of injury in case of an accident or a sudden stop, always keep the glove box door closed while driving. Rear console box. To access the rear console box, push the center of the lid. The rear console box light comes on when the tail lights are turned on. Caution. To reduce the chance of injury in case of an accident or a sudden stop, always keep the rear console box closed while driving. Garage door opener. The garage door opener, HomeLink universal transceiver, is manufactured under license from HomeLink and can be programmed to operate garage doors, gates, entry doors, door locks, home lighting systems, and security systems, etc. Programming the HomeLink. 1. Indicator light, and 2. Buttons. The HomeLink in your vehicle has 3 buttons and you can store 1 program for each button. To ensure correct programming into the HomeLink, install a new battery in the handheld transmitter prior to programming. The battery side of the handheld transmitter must be pointed away from the HomeLink during the programming process. For Canadian users, follow the procedure in programming an intranstate/programming all devices in the Canadian market. Step 1. Decide which of 3 HomeLink buttons you want to program. 1. HomeLink. 2. Handheld garage transmitter. And 3. 25 to 75 millimeters, 1 to 3 inches. Step 2. Place your handheld garage transmitter 25 to 75 millimeters, 1 to 3 inches, away from the surface of the HomeLink. Keep the indicator light on the HomeLink in view while programming. Step 3. Simultaneously press and hold the handheld garage transmitter button along with the selected HomeLink button. Do not release the buttons until Step 4 has been completed. Step 4. When the indicator light on the HomeLink changes from slow to a rapid flash after 20 seconds, you can release both buttons. Step 5. Test the operation of the HomeLink by pressing the newly programmed button. If programming a garage door opener, check to see if the garage door opens and closes. If the garage door does not operate, identify if your garage transmitter is of the roll encode type. Press and hold the programmed home link button. The garage door has the roll encode feature if the indicator light on the home link flashes rapidly and then remains lit after 2 seconds. If your garage transmitter is the roll encode type, proceed to the heading Programming a Roll Encode System. On Step 6. Repeat Steps 2 through 5 for each remaining home link button to program another device. Programming a Roll Encode System. If your device is roll encode equipped, it is necessary to follow steps 1 through 4 under the heading Programming the Home Link before proceeding with the steps listed below. Step 1. Locate the training button on the ceiling-mounted garage door opener motor. The exact location and color of the button may vary by brand of garage door opener. Refer to the owner's guide supplied by the garage door opener manufacturer for the location of this training button. Step 2. Press the training button on the ceiling-mounted garage door opener motor. Following this step, you have 30 seconds in which to initiate Step 3 below. Step 3. Press and release the vehicle's programmed home link button twice. The garage door may open. If the door does open, the programming process is complete. If the door does not open, press and release the button a third time. This third press and release will complete the programming process by opening the garage door. The ceiling-mounted garage door opener motor should now recognize the home link unit and be able to activate the garage door up/down. On Step 4. Repeat Steps 1 through 3 for each remaining home link button to program another roll encode system. Programming an intrastate/programming all devices in the Canadian market. Step 1. Decide which of the 3 home link buttons you want to program. Step 2. Place your handheld gate/device transmitter 25 to 75 mm 1 to 3 inches away from the surface of the home link. Keep the indicator light on the home link in view while programming. Step 3. Press and hold the selected home link button. Step 4. Continuously press and release cycle the handheld gate/device transmitter button every 2 seconds until Step 5 is complete. Step 5. When the indicator light on the home link changes from a slow to a rapid flash after 20 seconds, you can release both buttons. Step 6. Test the operation of the home link by pressing the newly programmed button. Check to see if the gate/device operates correctly. On Step 7. Repeat Steps 1 through 6 for each remaining home link button to program another device. Programming other devices. To program other devices such as home security systems, home door locks or lighting, contact your authorized Lexus dealer for assistance. Reprogramming a button. Individual home link buttons cannot be erased. However, to reprogram a single button, follow the procedure programming the home link. Operating the home link. To operate the home link, press the appropriate home link button to activate the programmed device. The home link indicator light should come on. The home link continues to send the signal for up to 20 seconds as long as the button is pressed. Erasing the entire home link memory, all 3 programs. To erase all previously programmed codes at one time, press and hold down the 2 outside buttons for 20 seconds until the indicator light flashes. If you sell your vehicle, be sure to erase the programs stored in the home link memory. Caution. When programming the home link universal transceiver, you may be operating a garage door or other device. Make sure people and objects are out of the way of the garage door or other device to prevent potential harm or damage. Do not use this home link universal transceiver with any garage door opener that lacks the safety stop and reverse feature as required by federal safety standards. This includes any garage door opener model manufactured before April 1, 1982. A garage door opener which cannot detect an object signaling the door to stop and reverse does not meet current federal safety standards. Using a garage door opener without these features increases risk of serious injury or death. This device complies with Part 15 of the FCC rules and with RSS-210 of the IC rules. Operation is subject to the following 2 conditions. 1. This device may not cause harmful interference, and 2. This device must accept any interference received, including interference that may cause undesired operation. Warning: this transmitter has been tested and complies with FCC and IC rules. Changes or modifications not expressly approved by the party responsible for compliance could void the user's authority to operate the device. Cup holders. Front. In front of the rear console box. To use the cup holder, push the cup holder lid. The cup holder is designed for holding cups or drink cans securely. The cup holder can be adjusted to the size of the cups by changing the separator position or moving the separator arms. You can use it as an accessory box by removing the separator inside. In the rear console box. To use the cup holder, open the rear console box and pull down the cup holder. The cup holder is designed for holding cups or drink cans securely. Caution. Do not place anything else other than cups or drink cans in the cup holder, as such items may be thrown about in the compartment and possibly injure people in the vehicle during sudden braking or in an accident. To reduce the chance of injury in case of an accident or sudden stop while driving, keep the cup holder closed when not in use. Rear. Second seat armrest. To use the cup holder, pull down the second seat armrest and push the cup holder portion of the armrest. The cup holder is designed for holding cups or drink cans securely. Beside the third seat. Caution. Do not place anything else other than cups or drink cans in the cup holder, as such items may be thrown about in the compartment and possibly injure people in the vehicle during sudden braking or in an accident. To reduce the chance of injury in case of an accident or sudden stop while driving, keep the cup holder of the second seat armrest closed when not in use. Overhead console box. To use the overhead console box, push the button. Caution. To reduce the chance of injury in case of an accident or a sudden stop, always keep the overhead console box closed while driving. As this box is designed for holding eyeglasses, do not place any object heavier than approximately 200 grams, 0.44 pounds, in it. Heavier objects may cause the box to open and the contents to fly out, resulting in injuries. Notice. During hot weather, the interior of the vehicle becomes very hot. Do not leave anything flammable or deformable such as a lighter, glasses, etc. inside. Auxiliary box. To use the auxiliary box, open it as shown above. Caution. To reduce the chance of injury in case of an accident or a sudden stop, always keep the auxiliary box closed while driving. First aid kit holder. 1. To loosen, and 2. To tighten. This auxiliary box is equipped with a belt to hold the first aid kit. To loosen or tighten the belt, do as shown above. Although the first aid kit itself is not included as original equipment, this auxiliary box can be used to store the first aid kit. Make sure the first aid kit is securely held. Floor mat. Use a floor mat of the correct size. If the floor carpet and floor mat have 2 holes, then they are designed for use with locking clips. Fix the floor mat with locking clips into the holes in the floor carpet. Caution. Make sure the floor mat is properly placed on the floor carpet. If the floor mat slips and interferes with the movement of the pedals during driving, it may cause an accident. Warning reflector holder. 1. To disengage, and 2. To engage. This belt is designed to hold the warning reflector. To disengage or engage the belt, do as shown above. Although the warning reflector itself is not included as original equipment, this auxiliary box can be used to store the warning reflector. Make sure the warning reflector is securely held. Coat hooks. Sealing border above the second seat. To use the coat hook, pull it down. In the luggage compartment, without third seats, to use the coat hook, push the hook. Caution. Do not hook a hanger, heavy or sharp, pointed object on the coat hook. If the curtain shield airbag inflates, those items will be hurled away with great force or the curtain shield airbag may not activate correctly. When you hang clothes, hang them on the coat hook directly. Luggage cover. Using luggage cover. To use the luggage cover, pull out the luggage cover and hook it on the anchors. Caution. Do not place anything on the luggage cover. Such items may be thrown about and possibly injure people in the vehicle during sudden braking or an accident. Removing luggage cover. To remove the luggage cover, retract and release the both ends and lift it out. After remove the luggage cover, place it somewhere other than the passenger compartment. This will prevent passengers from injury in the event of a sudden stop or accident. When installing the luggage cover, keep the top mark of the luggage cover ends upward. Tie down hooks. To secure your luggage, use the tie-down hooks as shown above. See stowage precautions on page 419 for precautions when loading luggage. Notice: do not use the third seat anchors instead of the tie-down hooks. Section 1-5. Instruments and controls. Exterior equipment. Hood, fuel tank cap, moonroof, quarter windows, roof luggage carrier, and rear step bumper. Hood. Step 1. To open the hood, pull the hood lock release lever under the instrument panel. The hood will spring up slightly. And step 2. Insert your fingers under the hood, push up the auxiliary catch lever and lift the hood. Before closing the hood, check to see that you have not forgotten any tools, rags, etc. Then lower the hood and make sure it locks. Caution: before driving, be sure that the hood is closed and securely locked. Otherwise, the hood may open unexpectedly while driving and an accident may occur. Fuel tank cap. This indicates that the fuel filler door is on the left side of your vehicle. Step 1. To open the fuel filler door, pull the lever under the instrument panel. When refueling, turn off the engine. Caution: do not smoke, cause sparks or allow open flames when refueling. The fumes are flammable. When opening the cap, do not remove the cap quickly. In hot weather, fuel under pressure could cause injury by spraying out of the filler neck if the cap is suddenly removed. Step 2. To remove the fuel tank cap, turn the cap counterclockwise by 90 degrees to the pressure point 1 and then turn it an additional 30 degrees to point 2. Pause slightly before removing it. It is not unusual to hear a slight swoosh when the cap is opened. And step 3. The removed cap can be stored on the back side of the fuel filler door. Position the cap so that the hooks point to the left and right or up and down, and set it in the receptacle on the back side of the door. When installing the cap, turn the cap clockwise until you hear a click. When you hear the click, the cap is fully closed. If the cap is not tightened securely, the malfunction indicator lamp comes on. Make sure the cap is tightened securely. The indicator lamp goes off after driving several times. If the indicator lamp does not go off, contact your Lexus dealer as soon as possible. Caution: make sure the cap is installed securely to prevent fuel spillage in the event of an accident. Use only a genuine Lexus fuel tank cap for replacement. It is designed to regulate fuel tank pressure. Notice: to prevent damage to the cap, apply force only in the turning direction to the cap. Do not pull or pry it. Moonroof. 1. Open and 2. Close. To slide open the moonroof, push the switch on the slide open side for about 1 second. The moonroof will fully open. To stop partway, push the same side or tilt up side briefly. The sunshade can be opened or closed manually. However, if you open the moonroof, the sunshade will be opened with a moonroof. When the moonroof is fully opened, the wind deflector raises to reduce the entering of the strong wind. The angle of the deflector is changed according to the vehicle speed. To close the moonroof, push the switch on the tilt-up side for about 1 second. The moonroof will fully close. To stop partway, push the same side or slide open side briefly. To slide open the tilted-up moonroof, push the switch on the slide open side to tilt down the moonroof. After releasing the switch, push the switch on the same side again. 1. Tilt down, and 2. Tilt up. To tilt up the moonroof, push the switch on the tilt up side for about 1 second. The moonroof will fully tilt up. To stop partway, push the same side or slide open side briefly. To tilt down the moonroof, push the switch on the slide open side for about 1 second. The moonroof will fully tilt down. To stop partway, push the same side or tilt up side briefly. To operate the moonroof, the ignition key must be in the on position. Key off operation. Even if the ignition key is turned to the ACC or lock position, the moonroof can be operated until a front door is opened or for 43 seconds. To tilt up the slide open moonroof, push the switch on the tilt-up side to close the moonroof fully. After releasing the switch, push the switch on the same side again, operating the moonroof from outside the vehicle. The moonroof can be operated using an ignition key. Note, this feature can be deactivated. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. Close and open. Insert the ignition key into the keyhole on the driver's door. To close the moonroof, turn the key in the locking direction and hold it. To open the moonroof, turn the key in the unlocking direction and hold it. After the door is unlocked, the moonroof begins to open. To stop in the middle, return the key. The moonroof also can be opened using the wireless remote control. For details, see page 17. Jam protection function. If something gets caught between the moonroof and frame during slide closing operation, the moonroof stops and opens halfway, and the deflector stops and raises fully. If something gets caught between the moonroof and frame during tilting down operation, the moonroof stops and opens fully. If the moonroof receives a strong impact, this function may work even if nothing is caught. If the moonroof does not operate automatically. If the moonroof does not operate automatically or the jam protection function does not operate correctly, you should normalize the moonroof. To normalize the moonroof, push and hold the switch on the tilt-up side until the moonroof tilts all the way up and then tilts down a little automatically. Make sure that the moonroof opens and closes automatically. If the moonroof cannot be operated properly, have it checked by your Lexus dealer. Caution. To avoid serious personal injury, you must do the following. While the vehicle is moving, always keep the heads, hands and other parts of the bodies of all occupants away from the roof opening. Otherwise, they could be seriously injured if the vehicle stops suddenly or if the vehicle is involved in an accident. Before you close the moonroof, always make sure there is nobody around the moonroof. You must also make sure nobody places his or her head, hands and other parts of the body in the roof opening. If someone's neck, head or hands get caught in the closing roof, it could result in death or serious injury. When anyone closes the moonroof, first make sure it is safe to do so. Be sure to remove the ignition key when you leave your vehicle. Never leave anyone, particularly a small child, alone in your vehicle, especially with the ignition key still inserted. Otherwise, he/she could use the moonroof switch and get trapped in the roof opening. Unattended person, particularly a small child, can be involved in a serious accident. Never sit on top of the vehicle around the roof opening. Never try jamming any part of your body to activate the jam protection function intentionally, as it could result in a serious injury. The jam protection function may not work if something gets caught just before the moonroof fully closed. Quarter windows. To open the quarter windows, pull the latch handles towards you and swing it fully out. When closing the windows, make sure they are completely closed. Roof luggage carrier. 1. Cross rails and 2. Roof rails. The roof luggage carrier consists of roof rails and sliding cross rails. Adjusting the position of cross rails. Step 1. Turn the knobs counterclockwise to loosen the cross rails. Step 2. Slide the cross rails to the appropriate position for loading the luggages. There are cross rail stoppers on the roof rails, which help you prevent the cross rails being touched with the tilted up moonroof. Notice: do not remove the cross rail stoppers or the moonroof may be damaged when it is tilted. And step 3. After adjusting, be sure to tighten the cross rails by turning knobs clockwise. Caution: make sure the cross rails are fixed securely by pushing forward and rearward them. Failure to do so may cause an unexpected accident or severe injury in the event of emergency braking or a collision. Follow the manufacturer's instructions and precautions when installing the attachments or their equivalent. Caution: when you load cargo on the roof luggage carrier, observe the following. Place the cargo so that its weight is distributed evenly between the front and rear axles. If loading long or wide cargo, never exceed the vehicle overall length or width. See specifications on page 564 for information on your vehicle overall length and width. Before driving, make sure the cargo is securely fastened on the roof luggage carrier. Loading cargo on the roof luggage carrier will make the center of the vehicle gravity higher. Avoid high speeds, sudden starts, sharp turns, sudden braking or abrupt maneuvers, otherwise it may result in loss of control or vehicle rollover due to failure to operate this vehicle correctly. If driving for a long distance on rough roads or at high speeds, stop the vehicle now and then during the trip to make sure the cargo remains in its place. Do not exceed 58 kilograms, 130 pounds, cargo weight on the roof luggage carrier. Notice: when loading the luggages, be careful not to scratch the surface of the moon roof. Rear step bumper. The rear step bumper is for rear end protection and easier step-up loading. Caution: do not allow more than one person to get on the rear step bumper at a time. It is designed for only one person. Never drive the vehicle with anyone on the rear step bumper. Section 1-6. Instruments and controls. Occupant restraint systems. Seats, front seats, rear seats, head restraints, armrests, seat belts, SRS driver airbag and front passenger airbag, SRS side airbags and curtain shield airbags, front passenger occupant classification system, roll sensing of curtain shield airbags off switch, child restraint, and driving position memory system. Seats. While the vehicle is being driven, all vehicle occupants should have the seat back upright, sit well back in the seat and properly wear the seat belts provided. Caution: do not drive the vehicle unless the occupants are properly seated. Do not allow any passengers to sit in the luggage compartment or cargo area. Persons not properly seated and or not properly restrained by seat belts can be severely injured in the event of emergency braking or a collision. During driving, do not allow any passengers to stand up or move around between seats. Otherwise, severe injuries can occur in the event of emergency braking or a collision. Front seats. Front seat precautions. Driver seat. Caution: the SRS driver airbag deploys with considerable force and can cause death or serious injury, especially if the driver is very close to the airbag. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration (NHTSA) advises, since the risk zone for driver airbag is the first 50 to 75 millimeters, 2 to 3 inches of inflation, placing yourself 250 millimeters, 10 inches from your driver airbag provides you with a clear margin of safety. This distance is measured from the center of the steering wheel to your breastbone. If you sit less than 250 millimeters, 10 inches away now, you can change your driving position in several ways. Move your seat to the rear as far as you can while still reaching the pedals comfortably. Slightly recline the back of the seat. Although vehicle designs vary, many drivers can achieve the 250 millimeters, 10 inches distance, even with the driver's seat all the way forward, simply by reclining the back of the seat somewhat. If reclining the back of your seat makes it hard to see the road, raise yourself by using a firm, non-slippery cushion, or raise the seat if your vehicle has that feature. If your steering wheel is adjustable, tilt it downward. This points the airbag towards your chest instead of your head and neck. The seat should be adjusted as recommended by NHTSA above, while still maintaining control of the foot pedals, steering wheel, and your view of the instrument panel controls. Front passenger seat. Caution: the SRS front passenger airbag also deploys with considerable force and can cause death or serious injury, especially if the front passenger is very close to the airbag. The front passenger seat should be as far from the airbag as possible with the seat back adjusted so the front passenger sits upright. Front seats with SRS side airbags. Caution: the SRS side airbags are installed in the driver and front passenger seats. Observe the following precautions. Do not lean against the front door when the vehicle is in use, since the side airbag inflates with considerable speed and force. Otherwise, you may be killed or seriously injured. Do not use seat accessories which cover the area where the side airbags inflate. Such accessories may prevent the side airbags from activating correctly, causing death or serious injury. Do not modify or replace the seats or upholstery of the seats with side airbags. Such changes may prevent the side airbag system from activating correctly, disable the system, or cause the side airbags to inflate accidentally, resulting in death or serious injury. Seat adjustment precautions. Caution: Do not adjust the seat while the vehicle is moving, as the seat may unexpectedly move and cause the driver to lose control of the vehicle. Be careful that the seat does not hit a passenger, luggage, or the rear seat. Notice: do not operate the control switch in more than one dimension at a time. It may cause electrical overload. Adjusting front seats. 1. Seat position, seat cushion angle and height control switch. 2. Seat back angle control switch. And 3. Lumbar support control switch. Adjusting seat position. Move the control switch in the desired direction. Releasing the switch will stop the seat in that position. Do not place anything under the seat, as this might interfere with the seat movement. Adjusting seat back angle. Move the control switch in the desired direction. Releasing the switch will stop the seat back in that position. Caution: avoid reclining the seat back any more than needed. The seat belts provide maximum protection in a frontal or rear collision when the driver and the front passenger are sitting up straight and well back in the seats. If you are reclined, the lap belt may slide past your hips and apply restraint forces directly to the abdomen, or your neck may contact the shoulder belt. In the event of a frontal collision, the more the seat is reclined, the greater the risk of death or personal injury. Adjusting seat cushion angle and height, driver's seat only. Move the control switch in the desired direction. Releasing the switch will stop the seat cushion in that position. Adjusting lumbar support. Push the control switch on either side. The amount of lumbar support will change while the switch is pushed. Rear seats. Rear seat precautions. Caution: adjustment should not be made while the vehicle is moving. When folding the seat, secure the seat by adjusting the length of the anchorage strap to prevent the seat from falling down. When returning the seat to its original position, observe the following precautions in order to prevent personal injury in a collision or sudden stop. There is no person or luggage around the seat, and operate slowly by supporting the seat with your hands. The seat is securely locked by pushing forward and rearward on the top of the seat back and by trying to pull up the edge of the bottom cushion. Failure to do so will prevent seat belt from operating properly. The seat belts are not twisted or caught under the seat and are arranged in their proper position and are ready to use. When using the seat, make sure the seat is securely locked. Notice: avoid putting heavy loads on the removed seat. The metallic tips of the seat legs may be damaged and the seat cannot be reinstalled. Tumbling, folding up, or removing the seats will enlarge the luggage compartment. See stowage precautions on page 419 for precautions when loading luggage. Adjusting rear seats. Second seat. Third seat. Lean forward and pull the lock release lever. Then lean back to the desired angle and release the lever. Caution: avoid reclining the seat back any more than needed. The seat belts provide maximum protection in a frontal or rear collision when the passengers are sitting up straight and well back in the seats. If you are reclined, the lap belt may slide past your hips and apply restraint forces directly to the abdomen, or your neck may contact the shoulder belt. In the event of a frontal collision, the more the seat is reclined, the greater the risk of death or personal injury. Tumbling second seat for third seat entry. Vehicles with third seat. For easy access to the third seat, tumble the second seat in accordance with the following procedure. Before tumbling the second seat, stow the second seat buckles as shown above. This prevents the buckles from falling out when you fold up the second seat. Vehicles with rear seat audio system or rear seat entertainment system. Before tumbling the second seat, close the headphone input jack lid. Notice: the seat belt buckles must be stowed before you tumble the second seat. The headphone jack lid of the rear seat audio system or the rear seat entertainment system must be closed before you tumble the second seat. Step 1. Lower the head restraints to the lowest position. And Step 2. Fold down the seat backs while pulling the lock release levers and swing the whole seats up and forward until they are locked. To return the seats to the original positions, push the red knobs and swing the whole seats down and swing the seat back up. If you cannot raise the left side seat back because of the locked seat belt, do not try it hard. Release the lock of the seat belt in the following way. 1. Push in the lower front edge of the seat back to slacken the seat belt. And 2. Let the seat belt retract a little. Caution: When returning the seats to their original position, observe the following precautions in order to prevent personal injury in a collision or sudden stop. Be careful not to get your hands or feet pinched in the seat. Make sure the seats are securely locked by pushing forward and rearward on the top of the seat backs or by trying to pull up the edge of the bottom cushions. Failure to do so will prevent the seat belt from operating properly. Make sure the seat belts are not twisted or caught under the seat and are arranged in their proper position and are ready to use. Folding up third seats. Stow the rear seat belt buckles as shown above. Seat belt hanger. For the outer seat belts, use the seat belt hangers to prevent the belts from being tangled. For the center seat belt, stow the seat belt tabs into the cover of the roof as shown above. Make sure the tabs are securely locked in the cover. To release the concave end tab, see page 136 for instructions. Notice: the seat belts and the buckles must be stowed before you fold up the seats. Step 1. Lower the outboard head restraints to the lowest position and remove the center head restraint. Step 2. Unfasten the zippers behind the right side seat back and stow the center head restraint into the seat back. Step 3. Unlock the seat backs by pushing the lock-release levers forward and fold them down. Step 4. Unlock the seat legs by pulling the seat leg lock-release knobs and lift the whole seat sideward. And Step 5. Retract the seat legs, then take the holding straps out and hang the straps to the assist grips. Pull the straps on the free end to secure the seats. Caution: when folding up the third seats, fix the seats securely by adjusting the length of the holding strap. Failure to do so may cause an unexpected injury in the event of emergency braking or collision. When the third seat to its original position, stow the holding straps into the holders facing the direction shown in the illustration. To return them to the original positions, reverse the steps above. Caution: when returning the seats to their original position, observe the following precautions in order to prevent personal injury in a collision or sudden stop. Be careful not to get your hands or feet pinched in the seat. Make sure the seats are securely locked by pushing forward and rearward on the top of the seat backs or by trying to pull up the edge of the bottom cushions. Failure to do so will prevent the seat belt from operating properly. Make sure the seat belts are not twisted or caught under the seat and are arranged in their proper position and are ready to use. Removing third seats. Stow the rear seat belt buckles as shown above. Seat belt hanger. For the outer seat belts, use the seat belt hangers to prevent the belts from being tangled. For the center seat belt, stow the seat belt tabs into the cover of the roof as shown above. Make sure the tabs are securely locked in the cover. To release the concave end tab, see page 136 for instructions. Notice: the seat belts and the buckles must be stowed before you remove the seats. Step 1. Lower the outboard head restraints to the lowest position and remove the center head restraint. Step 2. Unfasten the zippers behind the right side seat back and stow the center head restraint into the seat back. Step 3. Unlock the seat backs by pushing the lock-release levers forward and fold them down. Step 4. Unlock the seat legs by pulling the seat leg lock-release knobs and lift the whole seats. Retract the seat legs, then place the seats on the floor. And Step 5. Remove the seat lock cover and push the seat lock-release knobs, then pull up the whole seats and remove them. After removing the seats, reinstall the seat lock cover. Notice: avoid putting heavy loads on the removed seats. The metallic tips of the seat legs may be damaged and the seats cannot be reinstalled. To return them to the original positions, reverse the steps above. Caution: when removing or reinstalling the seats, observe the following to prevent personal injury. Do not remove or reinstall the seats while the vehicle is moving. Be careful not to get your hands or feet pinched in the seats. Be careful not to hit the removed seats against a person or drop it on yourself. Do not try to sit on or place anything on the removed seat. To prevent personal injury in a collision or sudden stop, do not sit on or place anything on the folded seat back while driving. Do not leave the removed seat loose in the vehicle. After reinstalling the seats, make sure the seats are securely locked by pushing forward and rearward on the top of the seat backs or by trying to pull up the edge of the bottom cushions. Failure to do so will prevent the seatbelt from operating properly. Install each seat in the same position from which it was removed. Failure to do so will prevent third seat occupants from using seatbelts properly. Make sure the seatbelts are not twisted or caught under the seat and are arranged in their proper position and are ready to use. Head restraints. For your safety and comfort, adjust the head restraint before driving. Front seat. To raise the head restraint, pull it up. To lower it, press the lock release button and push the head restraint down. To move the head restraint forward or rearward, pull or push the base of the head restraint. The head restraint is most effective when it is close to your head. Therefore, using a cushion on the seat back is not recommended. Caution. Adjust the center of the head restraint so that it is closest to the top of your ears. After adjusting the head restraint, make sure it is locked in position. Do not drive with the head restraints removed. Second and third seats. To raise the head restraint, pull it up. To lower it, press the lock release button and push the head restraint down. Second center head restraint. When an occupant sits on the second center seat, always pull up the head restraint to the locked position. The head restraint is most effective when it is close to your head. Therefore, using a cushion on the seat back is not recommended. Caution. Adjust the center of the head restraint so that it is closest to the top of your ears. After adjusting the head restraint, make sure it is locked in position. Do not drive with the head restraints removed. Stowing the third center head restraint. The third center head restraint can be stowed in the right side third seat back when they are not in use. To stow the head restraint, unfasten the zippers behind the seat back and stow it into the seat back. Armrests. Front seats. To use the armrest, lower the armrest to the lowest position and raise it to the desired angle. Raising the armrest to the highest position unlocks the armrest to let you return it to the lowest position. Notice. To prevent damage to the armrest, avoid putting heavy loads on it. Second seat. To use the armrest, pull it down as shown above. Notice. To prevent damage to the armrest, avoid putting heavy loads on it. Seat belts. Seatbelt precautions. Lexus strongly urges that the driver and passengers in the vehicle be properly restrained at all times, with the seatbelts provided. Failure to do so could increase the chance of injury or the severity of injury in accidents. The seatbelts provided for your vehicle are designed for people of adult size, large enough to properly wear them. Child. Use a child restraint system appropriate for the child until the child becomes large enough to properly wear the vehicle's seatbelts. See child restraint on page 175 for details. If a child is too large for a child restraint system, the child should sit in the rear seat and must be restrained using the vehicle's seatbelt. According to accident statistics, the child is safer when properly restrained in the rear seat than in the front seat. If a child must sit in the front seat, the seatbelts should be worn properly. If an accident occurs and the seatbelts are not worn properly, the force of the rapid inflation of the airbag may cause death or serious injury to the child. Do not allow any children to stand up or kneel on either rear or front seats. An unrestrained child could suffer serious injury or death during emergency braking or a collision. Also, do not let the child sit on your lap. Holding a child in your arms does not provide sufficient restraint. Pregnant woman. Lexus recommends the use of a seatbelt. Ask your doctor for specific recommendations. The lap belt should be worn securely and as low as possible over the hips and not on the waist. Injured person. Lexus recommends the use of a seatbelt. Depending on the injury, first check with your doctor for specific recommendations. Caution. Person should ride in their seats properly wearing their seatbelts whenever the vehicle is moving. Otherwise, they are much more likely to suffer serious bodily injury or death in the event of sudden braking or a collision. When using the seatbelts, observe the following. Use the belt for only one person at a time. Do not use a single belt for two or more people, even children. Avoid reclining the seat back any more than needed. The seatbelts provide maximum protection in a frontal or rear collision when the driver and the front passenger are sitting up straight and well back in the seats. If you are reclined, the lap belt may slide past your hips and apply restraint forces directly to the abdomen, or your neck may contact the shoulder belt. In the event of a frontal collision, the more the seat is reclined, the greater the risk of death or personal injury. Be careful not to damage the belt webbing or hardware. Take care that they do not get caught or pinched in the seat or doors. Inspect the belt system periodically. Check for cuts, fraying, and loose parts. Damaged parts should be replaced. Do not disassemble or modify the system. Keep the belts clean and dry. If they need cleaning, use a mild soap solution or lukewarm water. Never use bleach, dye, or abrasive cleaners, or allow them to come into contact with the belts. They may severely weaken the belts. See Cleaning the Interior on page 569 for instructions. Replace the belt assembly, including bolts, if it has been used in a severe impact. The entire assembly should be replaced even if damage is not obvious. Fastening front, second and third seat belts. Adjust the seat as needed and sit up straight and well back in the seat. To fasten your belt, pull it out of the retractor and insert the tab into the buckle. You will hear a click when the tab locks into the buckle. The seat belt length automatically adjusts to your size and the seat position. The retractor will lock the belt during a sudden stop or on impact. It also may lock if you lean forward too quickly. A slow, easy motion will allow the belt to extend and you can move around freely. When a passenger shoulder belt is completely extended and is then retracted even slightly, the belt is locked in that position and cannot be extended. This feature is used to hold the child restraint system securely. For details, see child restraint on page 175. To free the belt again, fully retract the belt and then pull the belt out once more. If the seat belt cannot be pulled out of the retractor, firmly pull the belt and release it. You will then be able to smoothly pull the belt out of the retractor. Caution. After inserting the tab, make sure the tab and buckle are locked and that the belt is not twisted. Do not insert coins, clips, etc. in the buckle, as this may prevent you from properly latching the tab and buckle. If the seat belt does not function normally, immediately contact your Lexus dealer. Do not use the seat until the seat belt is fixed, because it cannot protect an adult occupant or your child from injury. Adjust the position of the lap and shoulder belts. 1. Position the lap belt as low as possible on your hips, not on your waist. And 2. Adjust it to a snug fit by pulling the shoulder portion upward through the latch plate. Caution. Both high-positioned lap belts and loose-fitting belts could cause serious injuries due to sliding under the lap belt during a collision or other unintended event. Keep the lap belt positioned as low on hip as possible. Do not place the shoulder belt under your arm. Front and second outboard seat belts only. Adjust the shoulder anchor position to your size. To raise the anchor position, push the anchor up. To lower the anchor position, support the anchor while you push the lock release button, then slide the anchor down. After the adjustment, make sure the anchor is locked in position. Caution. Always make sure the shoulder belt is positioned across the center of your shoulder. The belt should be kept away from your neck, but not falling off your shoulder. Failure to do so could reduce the amount of protection in an accident and cause serious injuries in a collision. To release the belt, press the buckle release button and allow the belt to retract. If the belt does not retract smoothly, pull it out and check for kinks or twists. Then make sure it remains untwisted as it retracts. Caution. Do not separate the buckle with light gray buckle release button. Otherwise, the seat belt may not work properly. See the information in the following columns. Third center seat belt. Buckle with light gray buckle release button. The third center seat belt is a 3-point type restraint with 2 buckles. Both seat belt buckles must be correctly located and securely latched for proper operation. Make sure that buckle with light gray buckle release button is securely latched for ready use of the center seat belt. 2 buckles and tabs for third center seat belt. The 2 buckles for the third center seat belt are distinguished with colors of the buckle release button. Also, the 2 tabs have different shape for its sense so that the belt is not buckled in the wrong place. 1 buckle with light gray buckle release button properly matches with concave end tab, and 2 buckle with red buckle release button properly matches with round end tab. To release the concave end tab, insert the key into the hole on buckle with light gray buckle release button and allow the belt to retract. Caution. Do not use the third center seat belt with either buckle release. Fastening only the shoulder belt or lap belt may cause severe personal injury in case of sudden braking or a collision. Stowing the third center seat belt. Stow the seat belt tabs into the cover of the roof as shown above. Make sure the tabs are securely locked in the cover. Pulling out the third center seat belt. Pull the belt out a little and pull the tabs out from the cover. Stowing the second and third seat belt buckles. Second seat. Third seat. The second and third seat belt buckles can be stowed when they are not in use. Hanging the third outboard seat belts. Seat belt hanger. The third outboard seat belts can be hung when they are not in use. Caution. The third outboard seat belts must be removed from the hangers when they are in use. Seat belt extender. If your seat belts cannot be fastened securely because they are not long enough, a personalized seat belt extender is available from your Lexus dealer free of charge. Please contact your local Lexus dealer to order the proper required length for the extender. Bring the heaviest coat you expect to wear for proper measurement and selection of length. Additional ordering information is available at your Lexus dealer. Caution. When using the seat belt extender, observe the following precautions. Failure to follow these instructions could reduce the effectiveness of the seat belt restraint system in case of an accident, increasing the chance of personal injury. Remember that the extender provided for you may not be safe when used on a different vehicle for another person or at a different seating position than the one originally intended. If the seatbelt extender has been connected to the driver's seatbelt buckle without wearing the seatbelt when using the extender in the driver's seat, the SRS driver's airbag system will judge that the driver wears the seatbelt even if not wearing it. In this case, the driver's airbag may not activate correctly, causing death or serious injury in the event of collision. Be sure to wear the seatbelt with a seatbelt extender. Make sure the airbag on indicator light is illuminated when using the seatbelt extender for the front passenger seat. If the airbag off indicator light is illuminated, disconnect the extender tongue from the seatbelt buckle, then reconnect the seatbelt. Reconnect the seatbelt extender after making sure the airbag on indicator light is illuminated. If you use the seatbelt extender while the airbag off indicator light is illuminated, the front passenger airbag and side airbag on the front passenger side may not activate correctly, causing death or serious injury in the event of collision. Be sure to wear the seatbelt without the seatbelt extender if you can fasten the seatbelt without the extender. Do not use the seatbelt extender when installing a child restraint system on the front or rear passenger seat. If installing a child restraint system with a seatbelt extender connected to the seatbelt will not securely hold the child restraint system, which could cause death or serious injury to the child or other passengers in the event of collision. To connect the extender to the seatbelt, insert the tab into the seatbelt buckle so that the press signs on the buckle release buttons of the extender and the seatbelt are both facing outward as shown. You will hear a click when the tab locks into the buckle. When releasing the seatbelt, press on the buckle release button on the extender, not on the seatbelt. This helps prevent damage to the vehicle interior and extender itself. As far as the seatbelt extender on the front passenger side is concerned, do not fail to disconnect the extender from the seatbelt after the above operation in order to activate the front passenger airbag correctly when getting into the vehicle next time. When not in use, remove the extender and store in the vehicle for future use. Caution. After inserting the tab, make sure the tab and buckle are locked and that the lap and shoulder portions of the belt and the seat belt extender are not twisted. Do not insert coins, clips, etc. in the buckle as this may prevent you from properly latching the tab and buckle. If the seat belt does not function normally, immediately contact your Lexus dealer. Do not use the seat until the seat belt is fixed, because it cannot protect an adult occupant or your child from injury. Seat belt retentioners. The driver and front passenger seat belt retentioners are designed to be activated in response to a severe frontal impact or a vehicle rollover. When the sensor detects a severe frontal impact or a vehicle rollover, the front seat belts are quickly drawn back by the retractor so that the belts snugly restrain the occupants. The front passenger seatbelt retentioner will not activate if no passenger is detected in the front passenger seat by the front passenger occupant classification system. However, the front passenger seatbelt retentioner may activate if luggage is put on the seat or the seatbelt is buckled up regardless of the presence of an occupant in the seat. As for the front passenger occupant classification system, see page 168. The seatbelt retentioners and SRS airbags may not operate together in case of collisions at certain speeds and angles. Roll sensing of curtain shield airbags off, RSCA off, indicator light. The seatbelt retentioners will not operate in a vehicle rollover if the RSCA off indicator light is on. For details, see roll sensing of curtain shield airbags off switch on page 174. 1. Front airbag sensors. 2. Seatbelt retentioner assemblies. 3. Front passenger occupant classification system ECU on sensors. 4. SRS warning light. 5. Front passenger seatbelt buckle switch. And 6. Airbag sensor assembly. The front seatbelt retentioner system consists mainly of the above components, and their locations are shown in the illustration. The front seatbelt retentioners are controlled by the airbag sensor assembly. The airbag sensor assembly consists of a safing sensor and airbag sensor. When the front seatbelt retentioners are activated, an operating noise may be heard and a small amount of non-toxic gas may be released. This does not indicate that a fire is occurring. This gas is normally harmless. Once the front seatbelt retentioners have been activated, the seatbelt retractors remain locked. Caution. Do not modify, remove, strike or open the seatbelt retentioner assemblies, airbag sensor or surrounding area or wiring. Failure to follow these instructions may prevent the seatbelt retentioners from activating correctly, cause sudden operation of the system or disable the system, which could result in death or serious injury. Consult your Lexus dealer about any repair and modification. Do not modify or change the suspension system. Such changes may cause the curtain shield airbags to inflate accidentally, which could result in death or serious injury. Consult your Lexus dealer about any repair and modification. Do not use tires or wheels other than the manufacturer's recommended size. Such use may cause the curtain shield airbags and seatbelt retentioners to inflate accidentally, which could result in death or serious injury. For details, see checking and replacing tires on page 538. Do not place luggage heavier than specified on the roof luggage carrier. Such luggage may cause the curtain shield airbags and seatbelt retentioners to inflate accidentally, which could result in death or serious injury. For details, see roof luggage carrier on page 107. Failure to follow these instructions can result in death or serious injury. Consult your Lexus dealer about any repair and modification. Notice. Do not perform any of the following changes without consulting your Lexus dealer. Such changes can interfere with proper operation of the seatbelt retentioners in some cases. Installation of electronic devices such as a mobile two-way radio, cassette tape player or CD player. Repairs on or near the front seatbelt retractor assemblies. Modification of the suspension system. Modification of the front end structure. Attachment of a grill guard, bull bar, kangaroo bar, etc., snowplow, winches or any other equipment to the front end. Repairs made on or near the front fenders, the front end structure and console. This indicator comes on when the ignition key is turned to the on position. It goes off after about 6 seconds. This means the seatbelt retentioners are operating properly. This warning light system monitors the airbag sensor assembly, front airbag sensors, side and curtain shield airbag sensor assemblies, curtain shield airbag sensor assemblies, driver's seat position sensor, driver's seat belt buckle switch, front passenger occupant classification system, airbag on indicator light, airbag off indicator light, front passenger seat belt buckle switch, seat belt retentioner assemblies, inflators, warning light, RSCA, off indicator light, interconnecting wiring and power sources. For details, see service reminder indicators and warning buzzers on page 51. If any of the following conditions occurs, this indicates a malfunction of the airbags or seatbelt retentioners. Contact your Lexus dealer as soon as possible. The light does not come on when the ignition key is turned to the on position or remains on for more than 6 seconds or flashes. The light comes on or starts flashing while driving. If either front seat belt does not retract or cannot be pulled out due to a malfunction or activation of the relevant front seat belt retentioner, the seat belt retentioner assembly or surrounding area has been damaged. In the following cases, contact your Lexus dealer as soon as possible. The front of the vehicle, shaded in the illustration, was involved in an accident that was not severe enough to cause the front seat belt retentioners to operate. The front seat belt retentioner assembly is scratched, cracked, or otherwise damaged. SRS driver airbag and front passenger airbag. The SRS supplemental restraint system front airbags are designed to provide further protection for the driver and front passenger in addition to the primary safety protection provided by the seat belts. Your vehicle is equipped with advanced airbags designed based on U.S. Motor Vehicle Safety Standards FMVSS 208. The airbag system controls airbag deployment power for the driver and front passenger. The driver airbag system consists of the driver seat's position sensor, etc. The front passenger's airbag system consists of the front passenger occupant classification sensor, etc. In response to a severe frontal impact, the SRS front airbags work with the seat belts to help reduce injury by inflating. The SRS front airbags help to reduce injuries mainly to the driver's or front passenger's head or chest caused hitting the vehicle interior. The SRS front passenger airbag will not activate if there is no passenger sitting in the front passenger seat. However, the front passenger airbag may deploy if luggage is put in the seat or the seat belt is buckled up, regardless of the presence of an occupant in the seat. As for the front passenger occupant classification system, see front passenger occupant classification system on page 168. Always wear your seat belt properly. Caution. The SRS front airbag system is designed only as a supplement to the primary protection of the driver and front passenger seatbelt systems. The driver and front passenger can be killed or seriously injured by the inflating airbags if they do not wear the available seatbelts properly. During sudden braking just before a collision, an unrestrained driver or front passenger can move forward into direct contact with or close proximity to the airbag, which may then deploy during the collision. To ensure maximum protection in an accident, the driver and all passengers in the vehicle must wear their seat belts properly. Wearing a seat belt properly during an accident reduces the chances of death or serious injury or being thrown out of the vehicle. For instructions and precautions concerning the seat belt system, see seat belts on page 131. Improperly seated and/or restrained infants and children can be killed or seriously injured by the deploying airbags. An infant or child who is too small to use a seat belt should be properly secured using a child restraint system. Lexus strongly recommends that all infants and children be placed in the second or third seat of the vehicle and properly restrained. The second or third seat is the safest for infants and children. For instructions concerning the installation of a child restraint system, see child restraint on page 175. The SRS front airbags are designed to deploy in severe, usually frontal, collisions where the magnitude and duration of the forward deceleration of the vehicle exceeds the design threshold level. The SRS front airbags will deploy if the severity of the impact is above the design threshold level, comparable to an approximate 25 km an hour, 15 miles per hour, collision when the vehicle has the impact straight into a fixed barrier that does not move or deform. However, this threshold velocity will be considerably higher if the vehicle strikes an object, such as a parked vehicle or sign pole, which can move or deform on impact, or if the vehicle is involved in an underride collision, for example, a collision in which the front of the vehicle underrides or goes under the bed of a truck, etc. It is possible that in some collisions, where the forward deceleration of the vehicle is very close to the design threshold level, the SRS front airbags and the seatbelt retentioners may not activate together. Always wear your seatbelts properly. 1. Collision from the side. 2. Collision from the rear. And 3. Vehicle rollover. The SRS front airbags are not generally designed to inflate if the vehicle is involved in a side or rear collision, if it rolls over, or if it is involved in a low-speed frontal collision. But, whenever a collision of any type causes sufficient forward deceleration of the vehicle, deployment of the SRS front airbags may occur. 1. Hitting a curb, edge of pavement or hard surface. 2. Falling into or jumping over a deep hole. And 3. Landing hard or vehicle falling. The SRS front airbags may also deploy if a serious impact occurs to the underside of your vehicle. Some examples are shown in the illustration. 1. Airbag module for front passenger airbag and inflator. 2. Front passenger occupant classification system ECU and sensors. 3. Airbag on and airbag off indicator lights. 4. SRS warning light. 5. Airbag module for driver airbag and inflator. 6. Driver's seat position sensor. 7. Driver's seat belt buckle switch. 8. Front passenger seat belt buckle switch. 9. Front airbag sensors. And 10. Airbag sensor assembly. The SRS front airbag system consists mainly of the above components, and their locations are shown in the illustration. The airbag sensor assembly consists of a safing sensor and airbag sensor. The airbag sensors constantly monitor the forward deceleration of the vehicle. If an impact results in a forward deceleration beyond the design threshold level, the system triggers the airbag inflators. At this time, a chemical reaction in the inflators very quickly fills the airbags with non-toxic gas to help restrain the forward motion of the occupants. The front airbags then quickly deflate so that there is no obstruction of the driver's vision should it be necessary to continue driving. When the airbags inflate, they produce a loud noise and release some smoke and residue along with non-toxic gas. This does not indicate a fire. This smoke may remain inside the vehicle for some time and may cause some minor irritation to the eyes, skin or breathing. Be sure to wash off any residue as soon as possible to prevent any potential skin irritation with soap and water. If you safely exit from the vehicle, you should do so immediately. Deployment of the airbags happens in a fraction of a second, so the airbags must inflate with considerable force. While the system is designed to reduce serious injuries, primarily to the head and chest, it may also cause other, less severe injuries to the face, chest, arms and hands. These are usually in the nature of minor burns or abrasions and swelling, but the force of a deploying airbag can cause more serious injuries, especially if an occupant's hands, arms, chest or head are in close proximity to the airbag module at the time of deployment. This is why it is important for the occupant to avoid placing any object or part of the body between the occupant and the airbag module. Sit straight and well back into the seat. Wear the available seat belt properly and sit as far as possible from the airbag module while still maintaining control of the vehicle. Parts of the airbag module, steering wheel hub, airbag cover and inflator may be hot for several minutes after deployment, so do not touch. The airbags inflate only once. The windshield may be damaged by absorbing some of the force of the inflating airbag. Caution. The driver or front passenger who is too close to the steering wheel or dashboard during airbag deployment can be killed or seriously injured. Lexus strongly recommends that the driver sit as far back as possible from the steering wheel while still maintaining control of the vehicle. The front passenger sit as far back as possible from the dashboard. All vehicle occupants be properly restrained using the available seat belts. For instructions and precautions concerning the seating position, see front seat precautions on page 112. Do not sit on the edge of the seat or lean over the dashboard when the vehicle is in use, since the front passenger airbag could inflate with considerable speed and force. Anyone who is up against or very close to an airbag when it inflates can be killed or seriously injured. Sit up straight and well back in the seat, and always use your seat belt properly. Lexus strongly recommends that all infants and children be placed in the rear seat of the vehicle and be properly restrained. Do not hold a child on your lap or in your arms. Use a child restraint system in the second or third seat. For instructions concerning the installation of a child restraint system, see child restraint on page 175. Do not put anything or any part of your body on or in front of the dashboard or steering wheel pad that houses the front airbag system. They might restrict inflation or cause death or serious injury as they are projected rearward by the force of the deploying airbags. Likewise, the driver and front passenger should not hold objects in their arms or on their knees. Do not modify or remove any wiring. Do not modify, remove, strike or open any components, such as the steering wheel pad, steering wheel, column cover, front passenger airbag cover, front passenger airbag or airbag sensor assembly. Doing so may prevent the front airbag system from activating correctly, cause sudden activation of the system or disable the system, which could result in death or serious injury. Failure to follow these instructions can result in death or serious injury. Consult your Lexus dealer about any repair and modification. If you wish to modify your vehicle for a person with a physical disability, consult your Lexus dealer. It may dangerously interfere with the SRS front airbag's operation. Notice: do not perform any of the following changes without consulting your Lexus dealer. Such changes can interfere with proper operation of the SRS front airbag system in some cases. Installation of electronic devices such as a mobile two-way radio, cassette tape player or CD player. Modification of the suspension system. Modification of the front-end structure. Attachment of a grill guard, bull bar, kangaroo bar, etc., snowplow, winches or any other equipment to the front end. Repairs made on or near the front fenders, front-end structure, console, steering column, steering wheel or dashboard near the front passenger airbag. The indicator comes on when the ignition key is turned to the on position. It goes off after about 6 seconds. This means the SRS front airbags are operating properly. This warning light system monitors the airbag sensor assembly, front airbag sensors, side and curtain shield airbag sensor assemblies, curtain shield airbag sensor assemblies, driver's seat position sensor, driver's seat belt buckle switch, front passenger occupant classification system, airbag on indicator light, airbag off indicator light, front passenger seat belt buckle switch, seat belt retentioner assemblies, inflators, warning light, RSCA, off indicator light, interconnecting wiring and power sources. For details, see service reminder indicators and warning buzzers on page 51. If any of the following conditions occurs, this indicates a malfunction of the airbags or seatbelt retentioners. Contact your Lexus dealer as soon as possible. The light does not come on when the ignition key is turned to the on position or remains on for more than 6 seconds or flashes. The light comes on or starts flashing while driving. The SRS warning light and airbag off indicator light will be illuminated if there is a malfunction in the front passenger occupant classification system. In the following cases, contact your Lexus dealer as soon as possible. The SRS front airbags have been inflated. The front of the vehicle, shaded in the illustration, was involved in an accident that was not severe enough to cause the SRS front airbags to inflate. The pad section of the steering wheel or front passenger airbag cover, shaded in the illustration, is scratched, cracked, or otherwise damaged. Notice: do not disconnect the battery cables before contacting your Lexus dealer. SRS side airbags and curtain shield airbags. The SRS supplemental restraint system, side airbags and curtain shield airbags are designed to provide further protection for the driver, front passenger and rear outboard passengers in addition to the primary safety protection provided by the seat belts. In response to a severe side impact, the SRS side airbags and curtain shield airbags work with the seat belts to help reduce injury by inflating. The SRS side airbags help reduce injuries mainly to the driver's or front passenger's torso, and the SRS curtain shield airbags help reduce injuries mainly to the driver's, front passenger's or rear outboard passenger's head. The SRS side airbag on the passenger seat will not activate if there is no passenger sitting in the front passenger seat. However, the side airbag on the passenger seat may deploy if luggage is put in the seat or the seat belt is buckled up regardless of the presence of the occupant in the seat. As for the front passenger occupant classification system, see front passenger occupant classification system on page 168. Roll sensing function. In response to a vehicle rollover, the curtain shield airbags on both sides work with the seat belts to help reduce injury by inflating. The curtain shield airbags help reduce injuries mainly to the driver's, front passenger's or second passenger's head and help prevent them from being thrown out of the vehicle. This function can be turned off if inflation is not desired. See roll sensing of curtain shield airbags off switch on page 174. The SRS curtain shield airbag on the passenger side are activated even with no passenger in the front seat or second outboard seat. The SRS curtain shield airbags may activate even when the side airbags are not activated. Always wear your seatbelt properly. Caution. The SRS side airbag and curtain shield airbag system is designed only as a supplement to the primary protection of the driver, front passenger and second outboard passenger seatbelt systems. To ensure maximum protection in an accident, the driver and all passengers in the vehicle must wear their seatbelts properly. Wearing a seatbelt properly during an accident reduces the chances of death or serious injury or being thrown out of the vehicle. For instructions and precautions concerning the seatbelt system, see Seatbelts on page 131. Do not allow anyone to lean his/her head or any part of his/her body against the door or the area of the seat, front pillar, rear pillar or roof side rail, from which the SRS side airbag and curtain shield airbag deploy, even if he/she is a child, seated in the child restraint system. It is dangerous if the SRS side airbag and curtain shield airbag inflate, and the impact of the deploying airbag could cause death or serious injury to the occupant. Improperly seated and/or restrained infants and children can be killed or seriously injured by the deploying airbags. An infant or child who is too small to use a seatbelt should be properly secured using a child restraint system. Lexus strongly recommends that all infants and children be placed in the second or third seats of the vehicle and properly restrained. The second or third seats are the safest for infants and children. For instructions concerning the installation of a child restraint system, see child restraint on page 175. 1. Collision from the side to the vehicle body other than the passenger compartment, and 2. Collision from the side at an angle. The SRS side airbag and curtain shield airbag system may not activate if the vehicle is subjected to a collision from the side at certain angles, or a collision to the side of the vehicle body other than the passenger compartment as shown in the illustration. The SRS side airbags are designed to inflate when the passenger compartment area suffers a severe impact from the side. The curtain shield airbags are designed to inflate when the passenger compartment area suffers a severe impact from the side or vehicle rollover. Always wear your seatbelts properly. 1. Collision from the front. 2. Collision from the rear. And 3. Vehicle rollover. The SRS side airbags are not generally designed to inflate if the vehicle is involved in a front or rear collision, if it rolls over, or if it is involved in a low-speed side collision. 1. The angle of vehicle tip up is marginal, and 2. Skidding vehicle hitting a curbstone. The curtain shield airbags may inflate if the angle of vehicle tip up is marginal, or if the skidding vehicle's tires hit a curbstone laterally, as shown in the illustration. 1. Collision from the front. 2. Collision from the rear. And 3. Pitching end over end. The curtain shield airbags are not generally designed to inflate if the vehicle is involved in a front or rear collision, if it pitches end over end, or if it is involved in a low-speed side collision. 1. Hitting a curb, edge of pavement or hard surface. 2. Falling into or jumping over a deep hole. And 3. Landing hard or vehicle falling. The SRS side and curtain shield airbags may deploy if a serious impact occurs to the underside of your vehicle. Some examples are shown in the illustration. 1. Curtain shield airbag modules, airbag and inflator. 2. Front passenger occupant classification system, ECU and sensors. 3. Airbag on and airbag off indicator lights. 4. Side airbag modules, airbag and inflator. 5. Curtain shield airbag sensor assemblies. 6. SRS warning light and RSCA off indicator light. 7. Side and curtain shield airbag sensor assemblies. 8. Roll sensing of curtain shield airbags off switch. 9. Front passenger seatbelt buckle switch. And 10. Airbag sensor assembly. The SRS side airbag and curtain shield airbag system consists mainly of the above components, and their locations are shown in the illustration. The SRS side airbag and curtain shield airbag system is controlled by the airbag sensor assembly. The airbag sensor assembly consists of a safing sensor and airbag sensor. In a severe side impact, the side and curtain shield airbag sensor and /or the curtain shield airbag sensor trigger the side airbag inflators and /or the curtain shield airbag inflators. At this time a chemical reaction in the inflators quickly fills the airbags with non-toxic gas to help restrain the lateral motion of the occupants. In a vehicle rollover, the airbag sensor assembly triggers the curtain shield airbag inflator. At this time, a chemical reaction in the inflators quickly fills the airbags with non-toxic gas to help restrain the lateral motion of the occupants. When the airbags inflate, they produce a fairly loud noise and release some smoke and residue along with non-toxic gas. This does not indicate a fire. This smoke may remain inside the vehicle for some time and may cause some minor irritation to the eyes, skin or breathing. Be sure to wash off any residue as soon as possible to prevent any potential skin irritation with soap and water. If you can safely exit from the vehicle, you should do so immediately. Deployment of the airbags happens in a fraction of a second, so the airbags must inflate with considerable force. While the system is designed to reduce serious injuries, it may also cause minor burns or abrasions and swelling. Front seats as well as parts of the front and rear pillars and roof side rail may be hot for several minutes, but the airbags themselves will not be hot. The airbags are designed to inflate only once. Caution. SRS side airbags and curtain shield airbags inflate with considerable force. To reduce the possibility of death or serious injury when they inflate, the driver, front passenger and rear outboard passengers must wear their seat belts properly. Remain properly seated with their backs upright and against the seats at all times. Do not allow anyone to lean against the door when the vehicle is in use, since the side airbag and curtain shield airbag could inflate with considerable speed and force. Otherwise, he/she may be killed or seriously injured. Special care should be taken especially when you have a small child in the vehicle. Sit up straight and well back in the seat, distributing your weight evenly in the seat. Do not apply excessive weight to the outer side of the seats with a side airbag and to the front pillar, rear pillar and roof side rail with a curtain shield airbag. Improper sitting and wearing of the seat belts may not retain you inside the vehicle. Make sure the RSCA off indicator light is off. The curtain shield airbags will not inflate in a vehicle rollover if this indicator light is on and you may be killed or seriously injured. For details, see roll sensing of curtain shield airbags off switch on page 174. Do not allow anyone to get his/her head closer to the area where the side airbag and curtain shield airbag inflate, since these airbags could inflate with considerable speed and force. Otherwise, he/she may be killed or seriously injured. Special care should be taken especially when you have a small child in the vehicle. Do not allow anyone to kneel on the passenger seat, facing the passenger's side door, since the side airbag and curtain shield airbag could inflate with considerable speed and force. Otherwise, he/she may be killed or seriously injured. Special care should be taken especially when you have a small child in the vehicle. Do not allow anyone to get his/her head or hands out of windows, since the curtain shield airbags could inflate with considerable speed and force. Otherwise, he/she may be killed or seriously injured. Special care should be taken especially when you have a small child in the vehicle. Do not attach a cup holder or any other device or object on or around the door. When the side airbag and curtain shield airbag inflate, the cup holder or any other device or object will be thrown with great force, or the side airbag and curtain shield airbag may not activate correctly, resulting in death or serious injury. Likewise, the driver and front passenger should not hold objects in their arms or on their knees. Do not attach a microphone or any other device or object around the area where the curtain shield airbag activates, such as on the windshield glass, side door glass, front and rear pillars, roof side rail and assist grips. When the curtain shield airbag inflates, the microphone or other device or object will be thrown away with great force, or the curtain shield airbag may not activate correctly, resulting in death or serious injury. Do not hook a hanger, heavy or sharp, pointed objects on the coat hook. If the curtain shield airbag inflates, those items will be thrown away with great force, or the curtain shield airbag may not activate correctly, resulting in death or serious injury. When you hang clothes, hang them on the coat hook directly. Do not use seat accessories which cover the parts where the side airbags inflate. Such accessories may prevent the side airbags from activating correctly, causing death or serious injury. Do not modify or replace the seats or upholstery of the seats with side airbags. Such changes may prevent the side airbag system from activating correctly, disable the system, or cause the side airbags to inflate accidentally, resulting in death or serious injury. Do not disassemble or repair the front and rear pillars and roof side rail containing the curtain shield airbags. Such changes may disable the system or cause the curtain shield airbags to inflate accidentally, resulting in death or serious injury. Do not modify or change the suspension system. Such changes may cause the curtain shield airbags to inflate accidentally, which could result in death or serious injury. Consult your Lexus dealer about any repair and modification. Do not use tires or wheels other than the manufacturer's recommended size. Such use may cause the curtain shield airbags and seatbelt retentioners to inflate accidentally, which could result in death or serious injury. For details, see checking and replacing tires on page 538. Do not place luggage heavier than specified on the roof luggage carrier. Such luggage may cause the curtain shield airbags and seatbelt retentioners to inflate accidentally, which could result in death or serious injury. For details, see roof luggage carrier on page 107. Failure to follow these instructions can result in death or serious injury. Consult your Lexus dealer about any repair and modification. If you wish to modify your vehicle for a person with a physical disability, consult your Lexus dealer. It may dangerously interfere with the SRS side airbags and curtain shield airbags operation. Notice: do not perform any of the following changes without consulting your Lexus dealer. Such changes can interfere with proper operation of the SRS side airbag and curtain shield airbag system in some cases. Installation of electronic devices such as a mobile two-way radio, cassette tape player or CD player. Modification of the suspension system. Modification of the structure of the passenger compartment. Repairs made on or near the console or front seat. The indicator comes on when the ignition key is turned to the on position. It goes off after about 6 seconds. This means the SRS side airbags and curtain shield airbags are operating properly. This warning light system monitors the airbag sensor assembly, front airbag sensors, side and curtain shield airbag sensor assemblies, curtain shield airbag sensor assemblies, driver's seat position sensor, driver's seat belt buckle switch, front passenger occupant classification system, airbag on indicator light, airbag off indicator light, front passenger seat belt buckle switch, front seat belt retentioner assemblies, inflators, warning light, RSCA, off indicator light, interconnecting wiring and power sources. For details, see service reminder indicators and warning buzzers on page 51 for instructions. If any of the following conditions occurs, this indicates a malfunction of the airbags or seatbelt retentioners. Contact your Lexus dealer as soon as possible. The light does not come on when the ignition key is turned to the on position or remains on for more than 6 seconds or flashes. The light comes on or starts flashing while driving. The SRS warning light and airbag off indicator light will be illuminated if there is a malfunction in the front passenger occupant classification system. In the following cases, contact your Lexus dealer as soon as possible. Any of the SRS side airbags and curtain shield airbags have been inflated. The portion of the doors shaded in the illustration was involved in an accident that was not severe enough to cause the SRS side airbags and curtain shield airbags to inflate. The surface of the seats with a side airbag shaded in the illustration is scratched, cracked, or otherwise damaged. The portion of the front pillars, rear pillars or roof side rail garnishes, padding, containing the curtain shield airbags inside, shaded in the illustration, is scratched, cracked, or otherwise damaged. Notice: do not disconnect the battery cables before contacting your Lexus dealer. Front passenger occupant classification system. Your vehicle is equipped with a front passenger occupant classification system. This system detects the conditions 1 to 4 in the table on page 171 and based on these conditions, activates or deactivates the following systems: front passenger airbag, side airbag on the front passenger seat, front passenger seat belt retentioner. The system monitors the weight and load on the front passenger seat and the seat belt buckle switch in determining conditions 1 to 4. In order for the system to detect the conditions correctly, do not do any of the following. Apply a heavy load to the front passenger seat or equipment, for example, armrest. Attach a commercial seatback table, etc. to the front passenger seatback. Put weight on the front passenger seat by putting your hands or feet on the seatback from the rear passenger seat. The airbag off indicator lights will be illuminated when the ignition switch is in the on position and a child or child restraint system is in the front passenger seat table condition 2. This indicates that in the event of a severe frontal or passenger side impact, the front passenger airbag and side airbag on the front passenger seat are deactivated and will not deploy. If the front passenger occupant classification system determines that a person of adult size sits in the front passenger seat but the airbag off indicator light is illuminated, one of the following is likely to have occurred. The rear passenger lifts the front passenger seat cushion with her legs. Objects are placed under the front passenger seat. A front passenger seatback is in contact with the rear seat. To ensure the system correctly detects an adult sitting in the front passenger seat, make sure the above do not occur. Make sure the airbag on indicator light is illuminated when an adult sits in the front passenger seat. If the airbag off indicator light is illuminated, ask the passenger to sit up straight, well back in the seat, and with a seatbelt worn correctly. If the airbag off indicator light still remains illuminated, either ask the passenger to move to the rear seat, or if that is not possible, move the front passenger seat fully rearward. The airbag on and airbag off indicator light will be initially illuminated when the ignition switch is turned to the on position. It will remain for about 4 seconds and then go off. After about 2 seconds, the front passenger occupant classification system operates and judges whether to turn the indicator light on or not. The SRS warning light and airbag off indicator light will be illuminated if there is a malfunction in the front passenger occupant classification system. Condition and operation in the front passenger occupant classification system. 1. The system judges a person of adult size as an adult. When a smaller adult sits in the front passenger seat, the system may recognize him/her as a child depending on his/her physique and posture. 2. When a larger child who has outgrown a child restraint system sits in the front passenger seat, the system may recognize him/her as an adult depending on his/her physique or posture. 3. Never install a rear-facing child restraint system on the front passenger seat. A forward-facing child restraint system should only be installed on the front passenger seat when it is unavoidable. See child restraint system on page 176 for installing the child restraint system. And 4. In the event the front passenger does not wear a seatbelt. Caution. To avoid potential death or serious injury when the front passenger occupant classification system does not detect the conditions correctly, observe the following. Wear the seatbelt properly. Make sure the front passenger seatbelt tab has not been left inserted into the buckle before someone sits in the front passenger seat. Make sure the airbag on indicator light is illuminated when using the seatbelt extender for the front passenger seat. If the airbag off indicator light is illuminated, disconnect the extender tongue from the seatbelt buckle, then reconnect the seatbelt. Reconnect the seatbelt extender after making sure the airbag on indicator light is illuminated. If you use the seatbelt extender while the airbag off indicator light is illuminated, the front passenger airbag and side airbag on the front passenger side may not activate correctly, which could cause death or serious injury in the event of collision. Do not apply a heavy load to the front passenger seat or equipment, for example, armrest. Do not put weight on the front passenger seat by putting your hands or feet on the front passenger seat back from the rear passenger seat. Do not let a rear passenger lift the front passenger seat with their feet or press on the seat back with their legs. Do not put objects under the front passenger seat. Do not recline the front passenger seat back so far that it touches a rear seat. This may cause the airbag off indicator light to be illuminated, which indicates that the passenger's airbags will not deploy in the event of a severe accident. If the seat back touches the rear seat, return the seat back to a position where it does not touch the rear seat. Keep the front passenger seat back as upright as possible when the vehicle is moving. Reclining the seat back excessively may lessen the effectiveness of the seatbelt system. If an adult sits in the front passenger seat, the airbag on indicator light should be illuminated. If the airbag off indicator is illuminated, ask the passenger to sit up straight, well back in the seat, feet on the floor, and with a seat belt worn correctly. If the airbag off indicator still remain illuminated, either ask the passenger to move to the rear seat, or if that is not possible, move the front passenger seat fully rearward. When it is unavoidable to install the forward-facing child restraint system on the front passenger seat, install the child restraint system on the front passenger seat in the proper order. As for the installation order, see child restraint system on page 176. Do not remove the seat. Do not kick the front passenger seat or subject it to severe impact. Otherwise, the SRS warning light may come on to indicate a malfunction of the detection system. In this case, contact your Lexus dealer immediately. Child restraint systems installed on the rear seat should not contact the front seat backs. In addition to the precautions outlined above, the airbag on indicator light may be illuminated when a child sits in the front passenger seat or a forward-facing child restraint system is installed on the front passenger seat. If the airbag off indicator light is not illuminated in these circumstances, the front passenger airbag and side airbag on the front passenger side are in an activated condition. The airbags will deploy if an impact meets the deployment criteria. Refer to all the cautions in this section on child restraint system on page 176. Roll sensing of curtain shield airbags off switch. The roll sensing of curtain shield airbags off switch, RSCA off switch, can turn off the curtain shield airbags and seatbelt retentioners in a vehicle rollover. This switch should only be used if inflation is not desired, such as extreme off-road driving. When you push the RSCA off switch for a few seconds, with the ignition switch on, the RSCA off indicator light comes on and the roll sensing function is turned off. When you push the switch again, the indicator light goes off and the roll sensing function is turned on. For details about the roll sensing function, see SRS side airbags and curtain shield airbags on page 156. In a severe side impact, the curtain shield airbags on impacted side will inflate even if the roll sensing function is turned off. For details about the curtain shield airbags, see SRS side airbags and curtain shield airbags on page 156. In a severe frontal impact, the seatbelt retentioners will work even if the roll sensing function is turned off. For details about the seatbelt retentioners, see seatbelt retentioners on page 142. If the ignition switch is turned to ACC or lock with the roll sensing function off, and then the ignition switch is turned back to on, the roll sensing function will turn back on automatically. Caution. Before normal driving, make sure the RSCA off indicator light is off. When the roll sensing function is turned off and the RSCA off indicator light is on, the curtain shield airbags and seatbelt retentioners will not work in a vehicle rollover. Turning off the curtain shield airbags and seatbelt retentioners reduces occupant protection, which your vehicle safety systems can provide in accidents and increase the likelihood of death or serious injuries. Child restraint. Child restraint precautions. Lexus strongly urges the use of appropriate child restraint systems for children. The laws of all 50 states in the USA and Canada now require the use of a child restraint system. Your vehicle conforms to SAEJ 1819. If a child is too large for a child restraint system, the child should sit in the rear seat and must be restrained using the vehicle seat belt. See seatbelts on page 131 for details. Caution. For effective protection in automobile accidents and sudden stops, a child must be properly restrained using a seatbelt or child restraint system depending on age and size of the child. Holding a child in your arms is not a substitute for a child restraint system. In an accident, the child can be crushed against the windshield or between you and the vehicle's interior. Lexus strongly urges use of a proper child restraint system which conforms to the size of the child installed on the rear seat. According to accident statistics, the child is safer when properly restrained in the rear seat than in the front seat. Never install a rear-facing child restraint system on the front passenger seat even if the airbag off indicator light is illuminated. In the event of an accident, the force of the rapid inflation of the front passenger airbag can cause death or serious injury to the child if the rear-facing child restraint system is installed on the front passenger seat. A forward-facing child restraint system should be allowed to be installed on the front passenger seat only when it is unavoidable. Always move the seat as far back as possible, even if the airbag off indicator light is illuminated, because the front passenger airbag could inflate with considerable speed and force. Otherwise, the child may be killed or seriously injured. On vehicles with side airbags and curtain shield airbags, do not allow the child to lean his/her head or any part of his/her body against the door or the area of the seat, front or rear pillar or roof side rail, from which the side airbags or curtain shield airbags deploy, even if the child is seated in the child restraint system. It is dangerous if the side airbags and/or curtain shield airbags inflate, and the impact could cause death or serious injury to the child. Do not use the seatbelt extender when installing a child restraint system on the front or rear passenger seat. If installing a child restraint system with a seatbelt extender connected to the seatbelt will not securely hold the child restraint system, which could cause death or serious injury to the child or other passengers in the event of collision. Make sure you have complied with all installation instructions provided by the child restraint manufacturer and that the system is properly secured. If it is not secured properly, it may cause death or serious injury to the child in the event of a sudden stop or accident. Child restraint system. A child restraint system for a small child or baby must itself be properly restrained on the seat with a lap portion of a lap/shoulder belt. You must carefully consult the manufacturer's instructions, which accompany the child restraint system. To provide proper restraint, use a child restraint system following the manufacturer's instructions about the appropriate age and size of the child for the child restraint system. Install the child restraint system correctly following the instructions provided by its manufacturer. General directions are also provided under the following illustrations. The child restraint system should be installed on the rear seat. According to accident statistics, the child is safer when properly restrained in the rear seat than in the front seat. When not using the child restraint system, keep it secured with a seat belt or place it somewhere other than the passenger compartment. This will prevent it from injuring passengers in the event of a sudden stop or accident. Types of child restraint system. Child restraint systems are classified into the following three types depending on the child's age and size. A. Infant seat. B. Convertible seat. And C. Booster seat. Install the child restraint system following the instructions provided by its manufacturer. Your vehicle has anchor brackets for securing the top strap of a child restraint system. For instructions about how to use the anchor bracket, see using a top strap on page 192. The child restraint lower anchorages approved for your vehicle may also be used. See installation with child restraint lower anchorages on page 194. A. Infant seat. B. Convertible seat. C. Booster seat. Installation with 3-point type seat belt. A. Infant seat installation. An infant seat must be used in rear-facing position only. Caution. Never install a rear-facing child restraint system on the front passenger seat even if the airbag off indicator light is illuminated. In the event of an accident, the force of the rapid inflation of the front passenger airbag can cause death or serious injury to the child if the rear-facing child restraint system is installed on the front passenger seat. If the driver's seat position does not allow sufficient space for safe installation, install the child restraint system on the second right seat. Align both third seat backs at the same angle. When installing a child restraint system in the third center position, align both seat backs at the same angle. Otherwise, the child restraint system cannot be securely restrained and this may cause death or serious injuries in a collision. Step 1. Run the lap and shoulder belt through or around the infant seat following the instructions provided by its manufacturer and insert the tab into the buckle, taking care not to twist the belt. Keep the lap portion of the belt tight. Caution. After inserting the tab, make sure the tab and buckle are locked and that the lap and shoulder portions of the belt are not twisted. Do not insert coins, clips, etc. in the buckle as this may prevent your child from properly latching the tab and buckle. If the seatbelt does not function normally, it cannot protect your child from death or serious injury. Contact your Lexus dealer immediately. Do not install the child restraint system on the seat until the seatbelt is fixed. Step 2. Fully extend the shoulder belt to put it in the lock mode. When the belt is then retracted even slightly, it cannot be extended. To hold the infant seat securely, make sure the belt is in the lock mode before letting the belt retract. Step 3. While pressing the infant seat firmly against the seat cushion and seat back, let the shoulder belt retract as far as it will go to hold the infant seat securely. Caution. Push and pull the child restraint system in different directions to be sure it is secure. Follow all the installation instructions provided by its manufacturer. And step 4. To remove the infant seat, press the buckle release button and allow the belt to retract completely. The belt will move freely again and be ready to work for an adult or older child passenger. B. Convertible seat installation. A convertible seat must be used in forward-facing or rear-facing position depending on the age and size of the child. When installing, follow the manufacturer's instructions about the appropriate age and size of the child as well as directions for installing the child restraint system. Install the child restraint system on the front passenger seat only when it is unavoidable. Your vehicle is equipped with a front passenger occupant classification system. In order to activate the occupant classification system correctly, install the forward-facing child restraint system on the front passenger seat in the following order. Step 1. Turn the ignition key to the on position. Step 2. Move the front passenger seat to the rearward position. Step 3. Put the child restraint system on the front passenger seat without putting your weight on the front passenger seat. Step 4. Insert the seatbelt tab into the seatbelt buckle. Step 5. Fully extend the shoulder belt to put it in the lock mode. When the belt is then retracted even slightly, it cannot be extended. To hold the seat securely, make sure the belt is in the lock mode before letting the belt retract. Step 6. While pressing the convertible seat firmly against the seat cushion and seat back, let the shoulder belt retract as far as it will go to hold the convertible seat securely. Caution. Push and pull the child restraint system in different directions to be sure it is secure. Follow all the installation instructions provided by its manufacturer. And step 7. Put a child on the child restraint system and secure the child, complying with the instructions provided by the child restraint system manufacturer. The airbag off indicator light should be illuminated when the ignition key is on and the child is in the child restraint system after following these procedures. The airbag off indicator light indicates the SRS front passenger airbag and side airbag on the passenger side will not deploy. If the airbag on indicator light is illuminated, remove the child restraint system and reinstall it with the ignition key in the ACC or lock position. If the airbag on indicator light still remains illuminated when the ignition key is turned to the on position, then the SRS front passenger airbag and side airbag on the passenger side may deploy in an accident. Do not drive the vehicle in this condition. Remove the child restraint system and contact your Lexus dealer. Caution. When it is unavoidable to install the forward-facing child restraint system on the front passenger seat, install the child restraint system on the front passenger seat in the proper order. Otherwise, the front passenger occupant classification system cannot detect the presence of the child restraint system and the front passenger airbag and side airbag on the front passenger seat could deploy. Caution. Never install a rear-facing child restraint system on the front passenger seat even if the airbag off indicator light is illuminated. In the event of an accident, the force of the rapid inflation of the front passenger airbag can cause death or serious injury to the child if the rear-facing child restraint system is installed on the front passenger seat. Move seat fully back. A forward-facing child restraint system should be allowed to be installed on the front passenger seat only when it is unavoidable. Always move the seat as far back as possible, even if the airbag off indicator light is illuminated, because the front passenger airbag inflates with considerable speed and force. Otherwise, the child may be killed or seriously injured. On vehicles with side airbags and curtain shield airbags, do not allow the child to lean his/her head or any part of his/her body against the door or the area of the seat, front or rear pillar or roof side rail from which the side airbags or curtain shield airbags deploy, even if the child is seated in the child restraint system. It is dangerous if the side airbag and/or curtain shield airbag inflate, and the impact could cause death or serious injury to the child. If the driver's seat position does not allow sufficient space for safe installation, install the child restraint system on the second right seat. Align both third seat backs at the same angle. When installing a child restraint system in the third center position, align both seat backs at the same angle. Otherwise, the child restraint system cannot be securely restrained, and this may cause death or serious injuries in a collision. Step 1. Run the lap and shoulder belt through or around the convertible seat following the instructions provided by its manufacturer, and insert the tab into the buckle, taking care not to twist the belt. Keep the lap portion of the belt tight. Caution. After inserting the tab, make sure the tab and buckle are locked and that the lap and shoulder portions of the belt are not twisted. Do not insert coins, clips, etc. in the buckle, as this may prevent your child from properly latching the tab and buckle. If the seat belt does not function normally, it cannot protect your child from death or serious injury. Contact your Lexus dealer immediately. Do not install the child restraint system on the seat until the seat belt is fixed. Step 2. Fully extend the shoulder belt to put it in the lock mode. When the belt is then retracted even slightly, it cannot be extended. To hold the convertible seat securely, make sure the belt is in the lock mode before letting the belt retract. Step 3. While pressing the convertible seat firmly against the seat cushion and seat back, let the shoulder belt retract as far as it will go to hold the convertible seat securely. Caution. Push and pull the child restraint system in different directions to be sure it is secure. Follow all the installation instructions provided by its manufacturer. And step 4. To remove the convertible seat, press the buckle release button and allow the belt to retract completely. The belt will move freely again and be ready to work for an adult or older child passenger. C. Booster seat installation. A booster seat must be used in forward-facing position only. Move seat fully back. Caution. A forward-facing child restraint system should be allowed to be installed on the front passenger seat only when it is unavoidable. Always move the seat as far back as possible, even if the airbag off indicator light is illuminated, because the front passenger airbag could inflate with considerable speed and force. Otherwise, the child may be killed or seriously injured. On vehicles with side airbags and curtain shield airbags, do not allow the child to lean his/her head or any part of his/her body against the door or the area of the seat, front or rear pillar or roof side rail from which the side airbags or curtain shield airbags deploy, even if the child is seated in the child restraint system. It is dangerous if the side airbag and/or curtain shield airbag inflate, and the impact could cause death or serious injury to the child. Align both third seat backs at the same angle. When installing a child restraint system in the third center position, align both seat backs at the same angle. Otherwise, the child restraint system cannot be securely restrained, and this may cause death or serious injuries in a collision. Step 1. Sit the child on a booster seat. Run the lap and shoulder belt through or around the booster seat and across the child following the instructions provided by its manufacturer, and insert the tab into the buckle, taking care not to twist the belt. Make sure the shoulder belt is correctly across the child's shoulder and that the lap belt is positioned as low as possible on the child's hips. See seat belts on page 131 for details. Caution. Always make sure the shoulder belt is positioned across the center of child's shoulder. The belt should be kept away from child's neck, but not falling off child's shoulder. Otherwise, the child may be killed or seriously injured in case of sudden braking or a collision. Both high-positioned lap belts and loose-fitting belts could cause death or serious injuries due to sliding under the lap belt during a collision or other unintended event. Keep the lap belt positioned as low on a child's hips as possible. For child's safety, do not place the shoulder belt under child's arm. After inserting the tab, make sure the tab and buckle are locked and that the lap and shoulder portions of the belt are not twisted. Do not insert coins, clips, etc. in the buckle, as this may prevent your child from properly latching the tab and buckle. If the seatbelt does not function normally, it cannot protect your child from death or serious injury. Contact your Lexus dealer immediately. Do not install the child restraint system on the seat until the seatbelt is fixed. And step 2. To remove the booster seat, press the buckle release button and allow the belt to retract. Using a top strap. Follow the procedure below for a child restraint system that requires the use of a top strap. 1. Anchor brackets, and 2. Cymbal. Use the anchor brackets on the back of the second seat back to attach the top strap. Anchor brackets are installed for each second seating positions. This symbol indicates the locations of the anchor brackets. Step 1. Remove the head restraint. Step 2. Open the cover of the anchor bracket. Step 3. Fix the child restraint system with a seat belt. Step 4. Latch the hook onto the anchor bracket and tighten the top strap. For instructions to install the child restraint system, see Child Restraint System on page 176. Caution. Make sure the top strap is securely latched and check that the child restraint system is securely by pushing and pulling it in different directions. Follow all the installation instructions provided by its manufacturer. And step 5. Replace the head restraint. Be sure to close the cover when the anchor bracket is not in use. Installation with child restraint lower anchorages. The lower anchorages for the child restraint system interfaced with the OMGS S225 or OMGS S210.2 specification are installed in the second seat. The anchorages are installed in the seat cushion of the right side seating position and between the center and left side seating position. Child restraint system interfaced with the OMGS S213 or OMGS S213 specification can be fixed with these anchorages. In this case, it is not necessary to fix the child restraint system with a seat belt on the vehicle. 1. First look position, and 2. Fifth look position. Child restraint system installation. Step 1. Fold down the seat back. Make sure the rear seat legs are locked into place. Folding down the seat back will disengage them by pushing downward on the back of the seat. Adjust the seat back to the first lock position, most upright position, and then to the fifth lock position. Make sure the seat and seat back is locked securely. Type A, Type B, Step 2. Take off the cover on the seat cushion. Step 3. Widen the slits of the seat cushion a little and confirm the position of the lower anchorages near the buttons on the seat back. And step 4. Type A. Latch the hooks of lower straps onto the anchorages and tighten the lower straps. And step 4. Type B. Latch the buckles onto the anchorages. For owners in Canada, the symbol on a child restraint system indicates the presence of a lower connector system. If your child restraint system has a top strap, it should be anchored. For the installation of the top strap, see Using a Top Strap on page 192. For installation details, refer to the instruction manual equipped with each product. Caution. When using the lower anchorages for the child restraint system, be sure that there are no regular objects around the anchorages or that the seat belt is not caught. Push and pull the child restraint system in different directions to be sure it is secure. Follow all the installation instructions provided by its manufacturer. Do not install a child restraint system on the second seat if it interferes with a lock mechanism of the front seats. This can cause death or serious injury to the child and front passenger in case of sudden braking or a collision. When using the left side lower anchorages for the child restraint system, do not sit in the center seat. The performance of the center seat belt cannot be brought out sufficiently because the belt may be high positioned or the seat belt may be loose fitting, posing the risk of serious injury in the case of collision. Driving position memory system. A microcomputer will memorize the position of the driver's seat and the positions of the tilt and telescopic steering and outside rear view mirrors. 2 different driving position profiles can be entered into the computer's memory. Recording the driving position in the computer's memory can only be done when the ignition key is in the on position and the selector lever is in the P position. Setting the driving position. Step 1. Adjust the driver's seat, tilt and telescopic steering and outside rear view mirrors to the desired position. And step 2. While pushing the set button, push button 1 or 2 until the signal beeps. The beep sound means that the positions are recorded in the computer's memory. By repeating these 2 steps and pressing the remaining button, the driving position for another driver can be recorded. To set a new memorized position, select the desired position and perform step 2. The previous memory will be erased and the new position will be set. To make only slight changes to an already memorized position, the easiest way is to first activate the memorized position, then make the desired changes and perform step 2 above. Recalling the memorized position. When you push button 1 or 2, the driving position will be automatically adjusted to the position recorded for that button. Conditions for memorized position activation. Ignition key on and selector lever in P position. All parts of the memorized positions can be activated. Key not in ignition switch and within 30 seconds of opening driver's door. The memorized position can be activated except for the tilt and telescopic steering. If any driving position memory switch is pushed while one of the memorized driving position profiles is being activated, the operation will stop. To activate the system, push the desired button 1 or 2 again. The driving position memory control system cannot be operated while the vehicle is moving. If the vehicle's battery is disconnected, the computer's memory will be erased and the memorized positions will have to be set again. Caution. Do not start the vehicle while the adjustments are being made. Take care not to select the wrong button, or the seat could strike the rear passenger or hit your body against the steering wheel. If this happens, you can stop the movement by pressing another driving position memory switch. Section 1-7. Instruments and controls. Steering wheel and mirrors. Tilt and telescopic steering wheel, outside rear view mirrors, inside rear view mirror and vanity mirrors. Tilt and telescopic steering wheel. Adjustment of steering wheel tilt. To adjust the tilt of the steering wheel, push the control switch upward or downward to set it to the desired position. Caution. Do not adjust the steering wheel while the vehicle is moving. Doing so may cause the driver to mishandle the vehicle and an accident may occur resulting in death or serious injuries. Adjustment of telescopic steering column. To adjust the steering column length, push the control switch forward or backward to set the steering wheel to the desired position. Caution. Do not adjust the steering column while the vehicle is moving. Doing so may cause the driver to mishandle the vehicle and an accident may occur resulting in death or serious injuries. Automatic tilt-away steering column. When the ignition key is removed, the steering column moves forward away from the driver and also tilts up for easy exit and entry. When the key is inserted in the ignition switch, the steering column returns to the previously set position. Note, this feature can be deactivated. Ask your Lexus dealer for details. Outside rear view mirrors. Adjust the mirror so that you can just see the side of your vehicle in the mirror. Be careful when judging the size or distance of any object seen in the outside rear view mirror on the passenger's side because it is a convex mirror. Any object seen in a convex mirror will look smaller and farther away than if seen in a normal flat mirror. When you push the outside rear view mirror defogger switch, the heater panels in the outside rear view mirrors will quickly clear the mirror surface. See outside rear view mirror defogger switch on page 39. The rear view mirrors are rain clearing mirrors that clear the driver's rear view when it rains. For details, see rain clearing mirrors on page 572. Caution. Do not adjust the mirror while the vehicle is moving. Doing so may cause the driver to mishandle the vehicle and an accident may occur, resulting in death or serious injuries. Since the mirror surfaces can get hot, do not touch them when the outside rear view mirror defogger switch is on. Power rear view mirror control. 1. Master switch and 2. Control switch. To adjust the power rear view mirror, first place the master switch at L left or R right and push the control switch on the desired side. The power rear view mirrors can be adjusted when the key is in the ACC or on position. When the automatic transmission selector lever is shifted into arc position with a master switch in the yellow arc position, the rear view mirrors automatically down to help backing up. The mirrors return to the previous position in the following operations. Shift the transmission lever out of arc position. Place the master switch in the neutral position. Notice: if ice should jam the mirror, do not operate the control or scrape the mirror face. Use a spray de-icer to free the mirror. Folding rear view mirrors. To fold the rear view mirror, push backward. The rear view mirrors can be folded backward for parking in compact areas. Caution: do not drive with the mirrors folded backward. Both the driver and passenger side rear view mirrors must be extended and properly adjusted before driving. Inside rear view mirror. Adjust the mirror so that you can just see the rear of your vehicle in the mirror. Pushing the mirror switch changes the mode between auto and day. The indicator comes on when the automatic function mode is selected. Day mode, the mirror surface is normal. Auto mode, if the mirror detects light from the headlights of the vehicle behind you, the mirror surface darkens slightly to reduce the reflected light. When the ignition key is inserted and turned on, the inside rear view mirror always turns on in the automatic function mode. When the outside air temperature is low, it may take a little longer for the mirror to darken in response to the detection of headlights. Caution: do not adjust the mirror while the vehicle is moving. Doing so may cause the driver to mishandle the vehicle and an accident may occur resulting in death or serious injuries. To ensure correct functioning of anti-glare mirror sensors located on both sides of the mirror, do not touch or cover the sensors with your finger or a piece of cloth, etc. Compass. The compass indicates the direction in which the vehicle is heading. The illustration shown above indicates the vehicle is heading north. Push the compass switch to turn the compass system on and off. If the ignition switch was turned off with the system on, the system will automatically turn back on when the ignition switch is turned on. Displays and directions. N is for north, NE is for northeast, E is for east, SE is for southeast, S is for south, SW is for southwest, W is for west, and NW is for northwest. The compass may not show the correct direction in the following conditions. The vehicle is stopped immediately after turning. The compass does not adjust while the vehicle is stopped. The ignition switch is turned off immediately after turning. The vehicle is on an inclined surface. The vehicle is in a place where the Earth's magnetic field is subject to interference by artificial magnetic fields, underground parking, under a steel tower, between buildings, roof parking, near a crossing, near a large vehicle, etc. The vehicle is magnetized. There is a magnet or a metal object on or near the inside rear view mirror. The battery has been disconnected. If your vehicle is out of the set zone, refer to calibrating the compass in this section to set the zone number. If the deviation is small, the compass works to calibrate the direction automatically while the vehicle is in motion. For additional precision or for complete calibrating, see calibrating the compass below. If the direction is not indicated or the system does not operate properly, contact your Lexus dealer. Compass sensor. Notice: do not put magnets or a metal object on or near the inside rear view mirror of the vehicle. Doing this may cause malfunction of the compass sensor in the mirror. Calibrating the compass, deviation calibration. The direction display on the compass deviates from the true direction determined by the Earth's magnetic field. The angle of deviation varies according to the geographic position of the vehicle. To adjust this deviation, stop the vehicle, then push and hold the comp switch until the zone number appears on the display. Then push the comp switch, referring to the following map to select the number of the zone where the vehicle is. Zone numbers. Leaving the system after the calibration for several seconds, the direction will appear on the display. It shows the zone number is set. Caution: do not adjust the display while the vehicle is moving. Be sure to adjust the display only when the vehicle is stopped. Calibrating the compass, circling calibration. To rectify the compass, stop the vehicle and push and hold the comp switch until C appears on the display. There is also a case that C appears on the display in case of the drastic change of the magnetic field. Drive the vehicle slowly at 8 km per hour, 5 miles per hour or lower in a circle until the direction is displayed. If there is not enough space to drive in a circle, drive around the block until the direction is displayed. After driving in 1 to 3 circles in the above method, calibration is complete with the direction shown on the display. Perform circling calibration just after you have purchased your Lexus. And then always perform circling calibration after the battery has been removed, replaced or disconnected. Do not perform circling calibration of the compass in a place where the Earth's magnetic field is subject to interference by artificial magnetic fields, underground parking, under a steel tower, between buildings, roof parking, near a crossing, near a large vehicle, etc. During calibration, do not operate electric systems, moonroof, power windows, etc., as they may interfere with the calibration. Caution. When doing the circling calibration, be sure to secure a wide space and watch out for people and vehicles in the neighborhood. Do not violate any local traffic rules while performing circling calibration. Do not adjust the display while the vehicle is moving. Be sure to adjust the display only when the vehicle is stopped. Vanity mirrors. To use the vanity mirrors, swing the sun visor down and slide the cover. The vanity light comes on when you slide the cover.